You're listening to CRBRadio.com. The words and opinions you are about to hear are of the hosts and do not reflect the management, sponsors, or affiliates of Cave Radio Broadcasting.
Big Mac, it don't get no bigger. Big Easy, it don't get no bigger. Triple E, it don't get no bigger. It's big and bigger. It's big and bigger. Detroit, it don't get no bigger. Worldwide, it don't get no bigger. Hey Radio, it don't get no bigger. It's big and bigger. It's big and bigger. I'd like to welcome you to the show. Where else you wanna be? Where else would you go? Truth be told, you could be anywhere with the glow. Thank you for supporting this Detroit soul. It's fun jazz on beat, country and rock and roll. The Big Easy, Big Al, doing take control. It's bigger, bigger on Cave Radio. It's bigger, bigger on Cave Radio. Let's go.
Welcome, everybody, to Big and Bigger here on Cave Radio Broadcasting, www.crbradio.com.
I can't believe we both wore red.
I know. And you guys like stand out like a sore thumb on that side of the table.
I know.
It's the silliest things that amused on.
What's up, guys?
We both wore red today. Jeez.
You got your
Look at us.
you got your Gonzo Mania shirt.
That's right. Had to break this thing out.
I got my, it's a Redford thing.
I wore mine when I was up at is it too loud? That one place. Gypsy Fest.
Yes.
Gypsy Fest. So,
Yes.
What's up, man? How was your Labor Day weekend?
Oh, dude. Don't even. I mean, Friday was cool, but the rest of the weekend sucked.
Yeah.
This stupid leg infection was. It was bad, man.
Infection. What do you mean
Bad.
infection?
I got cellulitis in my leg.
Got salad what?
Saladitis.
Saladitis?
Saladitis. It was leaking dressing all over the place.
Ranch.
Yeah, it was more like creamy ranch. It was a little more creamy Italian.
Ew.
It was bad.
Very nasty. Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, you got in a pickle.
Yeah.
Slid back into the base.
Listen,
with shorts on.
I'm getting old now. We've got a bunch of young kids on the team.
You're doing what?
I'm getting old now.
You're getting old?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that time.
You know, you were
it's this
here
time.
before you were old.
Yeah.
You were getting old.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we got a bunch of kids, young guys on the team now. So I don't go out like I used to and go crazy. So, but I've been wearing pants for the last 10 years because of this exact same thing happened about 10 years ago. Yeah. And it got infected. And so, you know, when you like get in a fender bender or something, you're like, oh, I knew I should have went right at this street. So it was the same
As
type
soon as
of,
you slid, you were like, fuck.
Yeah, well, that day I had this debate in my head, like, should I wear pants today? Should I wear shorts? I'm like, I don't really go crazy anymore. I could wear shorts.
It was 100
today.
degrees a couple weeks ago and you were in pants. Then,
I know. It was cool that day too. But I'm
did
fat,
you
so I
get
have more
out?
mobility in shorts.
Well,
you know.
okay.
So did you get out?
Yeah, I got out, Dawn. Okay,
Oh.
but more important is I got infected. All right.
I know.
Yeah, it's saladitis.
It looks really good today, though.
Oh my God, it looks great.
It does
today
look
compared
good
to-
today.
So, long story short, leg infection. So last week, you know, the big weekend, my favorite weekend of the year, and besides hooking Allie up on Friday to meet All-American Rejects, I laid on the couch with my leg elevated for 3 days straight, missing everything that was going on at Arts Beats and Eats, at Hamtramck. I was actually even going to go stop over to State Fair and check out Joe Jabber. He was playing at like 9:30 on Saturday night, and I didn't get to do any of it.
Crazy.
But I did binge the entire series of Vikings.
Ooh.
The entire series?
Yeah, it's 7 seasons.
7 seasons.
Wow.
Damn.
I don't
Well, you had
sleep
4
much.
days to do it. So.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit. You told us when we were off air about the All-American Rejects thing.
Oh,
Jamie
yeah.
Wilkins was in here a couple weeks ago, and you had talked to her about maybe hooking you up. And
Yeah, I mean,
we don't do that often.
right. It's really the when I think back, it's
Except for the LO Palooza people who are throwing me a birthday party this week.
right. But I, 5 years with Cave, I think it's the one time I've done that.
Right.
So basically, Allie was able to go to the meet and greet for All American Rejects. And so I, linked her up Friday, got her there, her and 2 of her friends. And so they got to meet the band, get their picture taken with the band. And then they got to watch from the VIP section, which I didn't know. It's off to the side, but I didn't know that it also wraps all the way in front of the stage. So I'm actually at Renegades running karaoke, and she's sending me videos from the front row at All American Rejects, 6 feet away from the lead singer.
That is nice.
Then she sends me a message that says, "Don't be jealous, Dad." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And she sends me 2 videos of, I think his name is Tyson or whatever. The lead singer comes down into the crowd, into the VIP section, and he's going through the crowd as he's singing. And you can see her pan. She's videoing. She pans by him, and then you see her hand like brushes back or whatever. So
I touched him.
I'm like super happy at karaoke. Like this is a great night for me, even though I didn't get to go.
Right.
But this was something really, really cool that I got to do for my daughter. And when I got home, she was on the couch, and you'd think she'd be like all giddy and stuff, and she was kind of like, "Mom," I'm like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "I think I have post-concert depression." And I go, "Why do you say that?" She goes, "Because it was the greatest night of my life." So she goes, "I cried 4 times." And so you have to understand that my daughter at 15 is like any other 15-year-old girl right now, is really into all that mumble rap bullshit that's on the radio that sucks,
God, my daughter isn't, man.
And so All American Rejects was something that we could listen to in the car together.
Yeah.
And one of the songs that her and I both like is called Swing Swing, and that was the first song they played. She's telling me, she's like, "They played our song first. That was the first time I cried." And I was like, and I'm just on cloud 9. Like, this is the greatest night as a dad ever, because this is something that, you can take your kids here and there and do things with your kids, but some things you can't, you can't just do. And that was something cool that I was able to do for her. So I was, regardless of what happened the rest of the weekend or whatever, I still had a great weekend because of that. So
Very cool.
But yeah, the other 3 days I spent with the dog on the couch.
Yeah. How was the dog, by the way?
He's an asshole. He broke my back door. He broke my storm door.
How big is he now?
He's got to be. He's got to be 60 pounds, 50, 60 pounds. But he scratches at the back door when he wants to come in. Well, he decided, fuck it, I've been out enough, and he must have got a running start and just like smashed in. It's a storm door with aluminum or whatever on the bottom, and then glass on the top, and he just pushed in the whole bottom panel.
He's like, "Hey, Dad, you don't have to get up.
Look what I did. I came in the door by myself."
Right.
You and your
he couldn't
infected
get
leg
in.
just lay there.
It was just hanging halfway in, and so I ended up pulling it all the way out. Well, then it was another day of him trying to figure out, like, oh, I can walk through this. But, yeah, so now I'm thinking I might actually install the dog door.
That's a good idea.
Because it's so nice not having to get up. But he does that, when he's hungry, he comes and stares at me. When he's thirsty, he comes and stares at me. When he wants to play, he comes and stares at me. When he wants to go out, he comes and stares at me.
That's a good dog.
So at least I'll knock one of those 4 things out and be like, "You got a dog door now. You come and go as you please."
That's funny, man. So last Sunday or Monday we went to the our 3rd annual Hamtramck Yacht Club canoe race.
I was watching that video. It was awesome.
Oh my God, that was funny.
Dude, so awesome time again. The city of Hamtramck pulls off a great festival all weekend long, Labor Day festival, the anti-arts, beats, and eats, as they like to call it, or the blue-collar arts, beats, and eats. But they did a great job, lots of cool bands. But on Monday, they do the canoe races, and a lot of people are like, "Well, Hamtramck doesn't have any water." Well, like we talked before, they close off Josie Campo, and all the bars, local bars, they build what is like a 3-wheel racer. And
Soapbox
derby, yeah. But grown ass men chugging down the street, and what did they do is they line the street with people that whip water balloons and squirt guns and buckets of water and all that stuff at them, so it makes it like a river. So the very first heat is Krillin,
right?
And I can't remember but it was fucking hilarious because my man's in full. They're
all
in
gear
full regalia, man. It was hilarious. So Krillin is this band that's like a a band from outer space that's crash landed on the Earth, and they're trying to fight their rival Space Skull.
Yeah. And they play basically like psychedelic surf rock.
Yeah.
All instrumental. It's pretty sweet.
It
It's like
is
Dick
pretty
Dale
sweet.
on acid meets Star
Just
Trek.
weird.
Well, I mean, Krillin's from Dragon Ball Z, right? So that
Oh,
makes sense.
I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe.
All right, yeah.
It could
well,
be.
and he's from space. Well,
Is
he's
there a
not from
man?
space,
Man, what do they call him? Earwig.
Earwig, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just so anyway. These guys are. He wasn't in his earwig thing. He was dressed as one of the Space Skull guys.
Oh, okay.
And then the girl, bass player, she was in the Krillin outfit. And
Yeah,
then
so it was Squawk.
Squawker. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
And then
And
the other
then-
chick had like an astronaut helmet.
Yeah,
on
but
or
that
something,
wasn't that wasn't the wife. That
Oh,
was
no?
another Space Skull person. The wife was actually with the two kids.
I got you.
And they were all dressed up. It was freaking awesome, man. So anyway, we get going throughout the whole thing. The very last heat is Whiskey in the Jar versus the Foaling Warehouse.
Right.
And it's neck and neck the whole way, man. You probably saw the video.
Yep.
I'm filming it. Well, as they come around the turn, the second turn, this fucking Indian dude is like, "Hello!" He walks out, and his little kid fucking
I saw
follows
that,
him,
yeah.
and fucking Foaling Warehouse fucking runs right over this fucking like, boom,
Yep.
and then just keeps going though, you know. And I'm like commenting, I'm like, holy shit, he just hit the kid, you know. And Augie's like, I fucking told you not to.
I
put
saw
your,
him
you
go
know,
over
and
there
I'm
and yell
like,
at
I'm
him.
dying laughing.
Because that's why I was like, get him Augie on the on the comment.
He was yelling at the Indian dude?
Yeah,
because the kid
because-
ran out of the right in the
Literally,
middle of the,
he's
yeah.
walking by the whole fucking race. He's like, keep the kids away until I tell you they can come out. So the dude, I don't know why the guy thought he could walk in the middle of the street, but his little kid followed him.
Yeah.
And like
And he got mowed.
Oh, dude, like
He got
I think
mowed.
I did see that. Augie
So-
came running back.
Well, no, that was the fucking dude from the Foaling Warehouse who ran the kid over. Comes running back
Yeah.
to make sure the kid was fine. He was fine. He was just scared. And it's not like it's a fucking car. It was like
Right.
you know, it's,
Right.
you all right?
Jesus.
It was like a golf cart wheel falling,
Right.
going over him. But one of the teams, I can't remember who it was. It was their first year, and they built a cart out of a fucking dolly. So it was a push dolly, and they just put like fucking like thin luan
Oh,
around the whole
Jesus.
thing. But those wheels spin.
Right.
Oh, God.
So they're like they're pushing it, and it goes right to the corner. And then they pull it out, and it goes right to this corner. So then the one guy just grabs it and starts running backwards with it, like pulling it with him. Oh my fucking god, it was so hilarious. But yeah, it was a great time.
What happened to Conrad? How did he get hurt?
So that was
Fell out of the golf
after the
cart.
race. After the race, they were going to pull off, and Conrad wasn't holding on. And Shannon, he's been here before, but not on and not on the Big and Bigger show a couple weeks ago. Took off, and Conrad wasn't holding on. He fell.
Jesus.
Like broke his arm, or not? Didn't break his arm, but did something to his shoulder, and then had a slight concussion.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my God.
Like spent 6 hours in Detroit Receiving Hospital, and
Ugh.
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, fun weekend.
Good times.
So, and then just I'm now the equipment manager for the football team.
Yeah. So you gotta house all that shit or what? Is there a lockup? Is there like storage for all the
No,
gear?
we give the gear to the kids. No, it's all in my truck or in my house,
Wow.
sitting there. Yeah, we give all the,
Stinky.
no, they keep their own gear.
Okay.
I got all the extra shit.
Right.
So, yeah, the old program they had a storage unit. I don't have a storage unit, so. But yeah, it's been a nice week. So we got 10 shows left this year. Hopefully, we'll do some more in the following year. But this year we got 10 more shows left, and we start off this 10 show, 11 show. We
But
got
speaking of your football, not to interrupt, but the football team, I saw your birthday fundraiser goes towards that league,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Which is cool.
Thank you. I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that.
what day's your birthday?
Next Saturday. Hello
Saturday?
Palooza.
September 14th.
Oh, that's right.
Hello Palooza.
Yeah, so that's cool. I mean, that's there's so many of those fundraisers like give to the American Cancer Society and all this stuff, and it's
Yeah.
all like you don't know where that money's going, you know.
Right.
But at least that's something that's local, and that that money's going directly to that.
Yeah,
that league.
I always see people posting the shit on there, and it popped up yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was like, let me see. So I just typed it in, Royal Oak Township Browns, and it popped up, and I was like, sweet, because we are a 501c3,
Right.
non-charitable, non-whatever, tax-exempt
yeah.
organization. So, yeah, so thank you for bringing that up. I totally forgot to mention it. I also want to thank Thomas May and Son we know the son, Andrew May, who's been in a bunch of bands around town, for coming and fucking hooking my lawn up, man. I lost my lawn guy, disappeared, and he was posting something that he had started a company with his dad, so they came and cut my shit today.
Oh, you don't cut your grass?
Fuck no. I got 2 lawnmowers.
might have a heart attack.
I got 2 lawnmowers. Neither one of them work. I don't know what the fuck my sister sold me one for $25. That bitch won't start.
Sell it back to her. There we go.
Jerk. Alyssa Kanga just says, what's up? Missed you guys at Arts Beats and Eats. Hope Al is on the mend.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Missed you, too.
So we got Levi Bootcut in the studio today. He's here to promote LO Palooza and to talk about did you just release a new album? Were you about to release a new album?
About to. Still working on it. All the legalities between it, and I haven't released music, and I'm trying in a long time, and so I'm trying to make sure I know all the ins and outs of the royalty biz before I actually put anything out there.
See, a lot of people don't do that shit, and then they end up getting screwed.
I got $130 in Michigan collections that's sitting there on an album that I put out in 2012, and I can't get it back because they will only write a check to Levi Bootcut, and I'll be honest, it's not my real birth-given name.
Oh, you weren't born that way?
Yeah, no. It's
that was one of my questions, actually, was what is your real name?
My real name is Lee Richmond.
Lee Richmond.
Yep.
Okay.
But I was actually...
Because I was going to introduce Mrs. Bootcut down there.
Oh, yeah. She's behind the scenes. She's the one that, what they say, every strong man has a stronger woman behind him. That's her.
Okay.
So.
Hi.
Yeah, Eric was going to change his name to Eric Skinny Jeans, but we figured out it wouldn't work out.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I don't. Skinny jeans and me don't get along.
No.
Too much up top.
Me
not
neither.
enough underneath.
It happens. You got to find that right cut that's good for you, man.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So
I get the flex fit, like the stretchy
yeah, the
jeans.
stretchy ones. Yeah,
Fucking
they
best
make those in
invention
Bootcut.
ever.
That's the best thing ever since I turned 25.
You know what's funny is Bill Arrington. I saw him about 2-3 months ago, and he comes walking in, and he had a pair of jeans on. But I looked over there, and I'm like, dude, are those sweatpants?
Right.
And he goes, yeah, man, they're fucking sweatpants jeans. I'm like, how do you fucking get them? I wear sweatpants. Like, I wear shorts from pretty much April to November, maybe even into December. Like last year, I'd wear them in December because it was so warm. And then I wear warm-up pants the rest of the time. Well, now they got these sweet warm-up pants. They got like cuffs on them and shit, and tapered legs, and they look like dress pants.
Last year, you're like,
I was like, look,
they're tapered.
They're my dress sweats. So the jeans, the last jeans I bought were like that, like you guys were just talking about, kind of stretchy and fucking baggy.
Dude, listen, when you get above a size 32 waist, you need something that expands when you sit down,
right?
You know, because
that shit gets tight, dude.
Dude, I don't know if you ever heard the story about the poop button. But there's a spot like right below your belly button that doctors actually use on like little kids to get them to, when they're constipated, to get them at the poop. Like they put their fingers like push on the belly, right below their belly button.
I did not know this.
Well, for me, it's like right on the waistline because anytime I would eat or whatever, it'd be fine staying up. I'd get like in the work van to go drive a long distance, and all of a sudden I'm like, I gotta poop, like because my belt is like digging in on my belly. Well, once I discovered the stretchy jeans and throw a stretchy belt in there, and all of a sudden I'm comfortable as hell and don't got to poop for hours, and it's a good time.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, see?
We love talking about poop.
Yeah.
Big and big.
You know, fall's coming, so we get to start wearing hoodies again to cover up our bellies. That's always cool, you know?
It's my favorite time of year. Yeah. So,
shorts and hoodies.
Levi Bootcut and the Straight Legs is the name of your band. Now, when I saw you, I've heard a lot about you. I think you were going to come in last year, but there was some screw ups with the date or something like that.
Yep.
But I saw you at the 2-year anniversary party for 20 Front Street, and went up to you and we started talking, and we've been talking for about a year now
right?
to get you in here. But you were just a solo. You were solo there. I didn't know you had a band until Tim told me that you had the Straight Legs. So.
Well, you know, Straight Legs is kind of more of an idea than a set group of guys, right? The guys who helped me write and produce my album and my EP, I should say. It's only 5 songs, but those guys have been the guys that kind of helped me get it kick-started, and a lot of them are in Trippin' Dixie, but since they've moved on to their own group. And I've been doing it on my own for a while, so it's nice to kind of put some pieces behind me and just call whoever's back there the Straight Legs.
Now, when the dudes from Trippin' Dixie do help you, who's you said Connor.
Yep, so Connor Williams on the keyboard. He's my Buffalo brother, too, so we hang out all the time.
One of the craziest dudes on fucking keys you ever see.
Oh, man.
It's like, I thought he was going to break his fucking machine at one time. It was like bouncing all over the place, and he gets so into it, he's pouring sweat.
Tripping. It's hilarious, and I watch his hands move, and it's funny because when he's playing his Highway Star and stuff, I'll, like, make eye contact with him, and he doesn't break it, and his hands just, like, it's like 100 million spiders running up and down these keys, man. He's fantastic. So, and then the other guy's Brian Richter on bass.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah, so I've been playing with Brian too. I had Adam help me out a couple times. He's come out. Roz helped me with some vocals, and he and I are cool because when I first met him, I wanted to learn from him, and we had two different styles. So to be able to try to push my vocals and hit some of the notes that he's able to hit. He's been really friendly to me. He's so amazing, and he's a great guy too. He's willing to. You meet those musicians who are like, "I'm great, and I don't need you, so I want to be with you." And I'm like, "Hey, can I just stick around and watch you and figure out what you do and figure out your breathing techniques?" So he's great. And then Scotty King, who was their drummer until he moved out to the West Side. Now he's drumming in Mellophobics, so he's got a different project out there. So with him being on the West Side State, it's tough to get him over, but he's one of the guys that helped me really transform some of these songs.
Sweet.
So you're going to be playing at Lollapalooza coming up. You got anything else coming up besides the Lollapalooza gig?
Couple bar gigs here and there. Just at this point with the fall coming and my wife's starting back up at school, we got a little bit busy. So I've been setting my sights on Lollapalooza and then getting my album out. So I got a couple little bar gigs I'm doing with some friends.
Okay.
I'm playing at Duffy's in Auburn Hills on October 4th.
We see the Duffy's. I was like, what?
Yeah,
we got a Duffy's right here at 6 Mile. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a firefighters bar.
Yeah, no, I'm up on the north.
Yeah, you said you're from what? Goodrich.
Goodrich. We just bought a house out there about 2 years ago, I think.
Okay.
So
yeah, you're from the Lake Orion area, though.
Yep. So when I was born in Buffalo and moved to Ohio for 4 terrible years, and then moved up here. And man, it was so bad. And I moved up here in 2002 and went to Lake Orion and graduated there in 2009 and lived there forever until I started trying to buy houses, and it's expensive now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we moved on. But I love that area. That's where it's actually got a real good music scene. It's been building up.
We've been talking about that for a couple 2-3 weeks now because we linked up with the Gasoline Gypsies a couple years ago when Big and Bigger first started almost 5 years ago. And they've been I think besides one other band, they've been our most frequented band on here. They've been on like 4 or 5 times. And the Port Huron scene, when they first showed up, there was just 1 or 2 bands, and the Native Howl would go up there and play, and a couple other bands from Flint, like it's Loxodon now, Tom Toms and them guys, and they all kind of bounced around. But, I mean, we've had, in the last year and a half, I think 17 bands from the Port Huron.
We got to a point where Eric just booked Port Huron.
At that point, right?
Well, the last 3 weeks of the year last year, we had Port Huron bands, and then we had the Gypsies come in, and then I think Loxodon came in right after that.
It was a good 9-week spread, I think, where it was all Port Huron-ish bands.
Yeah. So, but I've noticed at Lake Orion now, I mean, with the amphitheater, Wildwood Amphitheater, and you coming out of there, and then 20 Front Street there now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's. I don't want to say it's a music mecca, but it's really kind of cool because it's that 20 Front Street is bringing a lot of bands.
It is.
A lot of national bands that are coming in there.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, and another product of Lake Orion's Trey Simon. Not sure if you guys
know
him.
Well, I met him and you did the thing together.
Yeah. And Trey's been a good friend of mine for a long time, and he just had his own setup at 20 Front Street there.
Okay.
And so, there's a lot of, it's funny. We have all these tiny little pockets of music and all these little bands.
You guys went to school together, didn't you?
A little. I was older than him,
okay.
But I was when he and I first met. I was in my first year of college, and he was still in high school. So we met through mutual friends and hung out then. Yeah.
Very cool. So there's
you also got Rochester and stuff. That's in the same ballpark.
And the Howls from right there. I mean, they're Rochester-ish.
North.
I don't know what's the name of their city called. Richmond.
No.
Anyway.
What's that, north of Rochester?
Yeah.
Up there, Romeo?
It's near Rome. It's between all that stuff. I don't
remember.
Yeah. Anyway, so What made you get started in the music? What kind of what did you listen to growing up?
So, one of my biggest influences is Travis Tritt. My dad grew me up on some 90s country, and I love every bit of it. Now, this new stuff I'm not too fond of.
Yeah.
But my mom was real big into 60s soul and Motown. So
That's-
between
yeah.
the two of them, I just kind of fused between them. And you know, when I was growing up, I always tried to sing in the car and whatnot. And to be honest, I was tone deaf. I was terrible. And I nasally, you know, because I grew up listening to all those pop punk bands and boy bands when I was real young. So everybody sounded like they had a nose clip on their, or a clothespin on their nose. And so I grew up singing like that. And it turned out I lost a bet when I was in college and had to go sing some karaoke. And I sang Save a Horse Ride a Cowboy. And I was mortified. Absolutely. Didn't want to be in front of people. Didn't want anything right. Well, the karaoke guy pulled me aside. He's like, hey, man, you know, I know you were nervous, but you did pretty good. You want to sing another one? Like, I don't have many people up here. I need to fill a rotation. These other people are really bad.
I'll shake his head 'cause he
I'm
knows
sure you
all
know
about it.
after hearing about you doing
Dude,
karaoke.
I am
mean, you know how it goes.
the karaoke whisperer. I'll get people to go up there that had no intentions when they got there.
Yeah.
I've never been up before, and it's funny because I got certain people that are regulars that'll come and hang out in the booth with me or whatever, and I go, they'll be back.
Yep.
And they're like, what? I go, you watch, they'll be back. So they get up on stage, they sing that first song, they have a blast, which I tell people, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. If you have fun, that's all
People
I care
love
about.
you.
You
Yeah.
know?
And people get it, too.
Yep. And so they'll get up there, they'll sing one song, have a blast, all of a sudden they grab a book. And I'm like,
There you
yeah,
go.
I knew it. I knew
Handful
it.
of sheets and
Yep.
sign-up sheets and go over to the corner. That was me. I was hooked every
Exactly.
Friday. I'd be up at Sagebrush just constantly singing karaoke. And then it got to a point where I met this guy named Trevor, and he and I started our very first band. It was called the Cold City Cowboys. And we came up. He had this song that he had written. He's like, I want you to help me try to write some songs. It's like, well, I've never done that before. You know, I'd give it a try. I make up songs in my head all the time, you know, whistling melodies and whatnot.
Right.
And so I go over there, and I just fell in love with the art of songwriting and watching stuff come together. And so I started with him, and we got going. And then in 2013, our band broke up like most bands do, and I decided to start doing it on my own. But I didn't know how to play the guitar, so I had
Really?
to try to figure that out. Yeah, so I've learned, and I had a good buddy of mine, Frank Bash, who helped me learn guitar and helped me learn how to songwrite, and has helped me co-write. He's co-written a couple of these songs that are coming out on the EP, and so after that, I've just been chugging, and I like to do this as a hobby. It's fun for me, you know. Like, I got a full-time job, you know. I got nieces and nephews I take care of. I'm a full-time husband, too. We got a house that we got to take care of and whatnot. So, you know, it's tough to be able to just keep pushing stuff out there and really go gung-ho. And, you know, people tell me, oh, go to Nashville. I'm like, I can't afford it, man. Like, I just bought a house.
Yeah. Don't
You
you
know?
think I would if I could?
Yeah, right?
People don't realize, like, you know, all of this, like, what we do, what you do, what everybody, you know, in the industry does, 99% of it is a hobby.
Absolutely.
Or, you know,
It costs us
passion
money.
project.
It costs you money.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
You know, you're doing an EP right now. You know
Yeah.
how much so are you guys doing this in a studio? Or are you doing it in a studio? So
Yeah.
mastering it?
So we
All
did
that
it.
stuff?
We recorded it at Ashroom Studios in Ortonville, and Scott Loudon is the owner of that. And we used Steve Lehane from Rust Belt to engineer it.
Yeah, I know Steve.
And Connor was actually helping me produce it because he's got that ear. He's just got that musical ear. And so, you know, between working with them, we did this. I think we actually started our first recording session in December of last year.
Okay.
And then I couldn't afford another one until,
Yeah.
you know, March
Right.
of the following
Yep.
year. So
Yeah.
I was sitting
It's
on
not
just
cheap.
I was sitting on scratch vocals, drum, bass, and keys, you know, and I was happy with them. Then we moved on and we added some stuff, and then I started getting some other. To me, it's like I know I can play these songs live just the way they were, but I'm
Right.
like, there's other parts that I want to it. So I went out and I found some horn players, and Tim Williams introduced me to Bill Arnold, who plays some sweet lap steel, and I got him on a couple tracks. So it was kind of neat to go out and show these guys these tracks and get them to come on and collaborate with it. And so I think we finally finished up our recording at the end of the springtime, early summer, about March or May, June time. And then I met a guy named Andy Reid, through my friend Steve
Coach for
Taylor.
the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, I asked him the same thing too. I said, "You got any relation?" Because if so, I'm a huge Donovan McNabb fan, and I'd love to get to meet him. But yeah, so Andy Reid, he did a lot of Steve Taylor stuff. Who's another local
Steve, yeah.
Lake Orion guy.
Oh,
And,
he's from Lake Orion too?
Yep,
I didn't know that. All right.
And so he went through and he helped me master and do some mixing on it. But what was really cool about him was I'm still new at this, so I don't know what I'm doing. And he was going through the mastering process, saying,
Showing
like,
you as he
how
was
do you
doing
feel
it.
about this? I'll give you 2 different options. And he was really comfortable to work with.
Right.
And so it really made me feel at ease, like I knew what I was doing and I was in control of my music versus, sometimes you just get guys who mix songs and they're like, here you go, tell me what you want. And then I'm listening to it like, this sounds great. I don't even know.
So
know?
you were present for the mastering.
I was not present for the mastering,
Oh, okay.
but we did a lot of back and forth.
Gotcha.
And it was a lot of good conversation.
Because I always wondered what
Between it.
mastering was, and then it was
Me
explained
too.
to me one time that basically in every song there's like voids to fill, and it fills all those voids, and I'm like, that makes no sense to me. Like, how does that even work? Like, fill it with what? Like white noise, Like, I never got it.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of it goes into boosting the sound and the quality of it at the end of the day.
Pick up the guitar here,
Yeah,
drop a drum here.
and a lot of that's done in mixing, but it's
Right.
it's also trimming some of the fat those extra little squawks that you get in there and stuff. And I'm no expert by any means.
So basically,
I barely
fine
know.
tuning.
That's kind of what I'm getting from it.
recording,
Yeah. And so I got my masters back; they're good. I'm just trying to figure out the rest of it and make sure I can, before I put anything out there.
So when are you thinking?
I'm hoping next month.
Sometime
Yep.
in October?
Yep. So I was originally hoping August, and then I was like, yeah, I can do that by August. This will be great. I did it last time. That was fine. And then I started like reading into it, and I'm one of those guys where if I don't know if I just like peek under the cover of research, then it's like, well, no, I got to know everything about this.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like, oh, let me see if I can own my own
Does
publishing
that drive
company.
you
And so-
crazy?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, so I got a little bit of perfectionist that I got to kind of kick to the curb to get this thing out there. So
Now, are you going to be on like Spotify and Apple
Yep.
Music and all
yeah,
that stuff?
yeah, we're gonna distribute through all that stuff. Probably go through CD Baby or something.
Okay.
So
Very
yeah,
cool.
I'm excited to get it out
Are
there.
you? I mean, are you even thinking about it yet? Like, are you going to have like a record release party?
That's a good question.
Front Street would be a perfect place.
It would be, and what's funny is I've been thinking about
a good
this.
booker.
Yeah, you are. Now let's just get Tim and Alan in
Do
here.
you
on
even
this,
have like?
right?
Tim, if you're listening, which I know you are.
Yeah, you are. Hey, have fun at Wheatland this weekend. But
Say hi to Nancy.
right? But the thing about this album and the whole reason behind it, and every time I get a little stressed out from it, and the thing that keeps me going is this is songs that I've written over the past 5-6 years, and this is to me like this album's for me at the end of the day. So every time I start getting freaked out about deadlines and when it's got to get out and all that, it's like I did this so that when my kids ask me, hey, you were in music. What'd you do? You just play some bar shows, And I could say, no, man, I put my heart and soul into these 5 songs, and this is what I got to show for it,
Right.
And so that's what it means to me.
How old are you?
I'm 28. Yeah, 28.
Well, you're almost done. Yeah, I mean, there's not much time left.
You got a little bit of time left, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys got, guys like Tino Gross. I don't know if you know who Tino is. Tino's he's the lead singer of the Howling Diablos, but he started off playing drums for John Lee Hooker, 40 years ago,
Yeah.
and he's still doing shit. You know what I mean? So you got
You
and
never
he's-
give it up. You never quit.
Yeah.
No, and
Never
that's
do
it's
it.
my passion project, and so the stress comes from trying to build that brand, build that band, build everything around it, and try to just sell. And to me, it's like, man, if I can just write some cool songs, like to me, I'd love. That's why I'm worried about the royalties, because I'm just going to try to license all these things out.
Right.
Like I want somebody to pick up one of my songs.
Yep.
I don't want to go play these tours and stuff.
Right.
I don't like flying that much.
Right.
I don't like being away from home that much,
Right.
man. I just like singing songs and being in the spotlight every
There's a
once
lot
in a while.
of, and I might even be able to hook you up with them. Bobby Myers and Nick Bainin. They do a lot of stuff like that, scores and
Yeah.
stuff, and they got a contact. A couple of the Infat songs were in a fucking like NYPD, not NYPD Blue, but Chicago,
Yeah.
whatever, Chicago Fire, Chicago something, So
It's all about who you know.
And I know Xander, Michigan. Xander, he's been through all that stuff.
Did he ever do that? I was just wondering the other day because he's been MIA for a while.
He's off social media completely. I just talked to him yesterday.
Did he do that? Did he end up doing that college tour thing that
I
he
don't
set
think
up?
it ended up working out.
Really?
But he's gonna be in here in a couple weeks.
Okay.
We're gonna talk to him. I've been throwing shit out to all of our old favorite guests that we've had on over the last 5 years.
You're my favorite too, right?
Hip Tuck and Rumble will be in
Okay.
here.
Just making sure.
Yeah. You'll be able to see Nate one more time.
Thank
sweetie.
you.
You know, you mentioned doing this to have something to show your kids or whatever, but better to show them instead of a CD like this is what your dad did.
Yeah.
Show them you on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You guys
just
have
keep
kids?
just keep
No,
doing it.
not
Just keep
yet.
Any
doing
in the
it.
pipeline? I mean, you thinking
In
about
the
it?
Thinking about
pipeline.
it, yeah.
I'm sure they're in the pipeline.
She's currently not pregnant. I'll be honest.
That's not what I meant.
Hide your beer.
You guys do
That's
anything in the last
weird.
24 hours where there's some in the pipeline, or
I mean,
have
is
the
there-
last
Whose
one's
pipe?
died off already? Like,
Oh, man.
Jesus.
Maybe tonight.
When you said
The
personal
pipeline.
interview, I didn't think
Wow.
not that personal.
No, yeah,
That's
Any in the
weird.
future,
yeah, that's what's
the near
funny.
future.
You know, the personal pipeline.
Yeah. No, we're definitely hoping to have kids.
You know,
It's something I've always wanted to do with my life is to be a dad.
no
You know what's
fish in
funny
the
is-
canal.
the first time I saw you at the 21st Street gig, there was a girl behind me with a baby, and evidently it was your nephew.
That was
or
my
niece,
my niece.
Your niece.
Yeah, Ronnie
and,
Lee.
And you were singing to her, and she was cracking up, and it was. I thought it. I didn't know. You know, I thought it was your kid, and I think someone else did too. And really, he was like, "No, it's my niece."
Yep.
So
She's a sweetheart.
yeah, you were meant to be a dad. I could tell.
I've always. It's funny, you know. Whenever I've constantly contemplated about what do I want to do? What's my aspiration? What do I want to be when I grow up? And nothing's ever stuck other than wanting to be a dad. And
It's pretty awesome.
It's the
dude.
greatest fucking
Yeah.
thing ever.
I got a nephew right now who's 13, and he came into my life. He's on Georgia's side when he was 6, and that kid and I are inseparable. His name's
Right.
Jalen, and I love him to death. And ever since really having him and being able to it's taught me to be a better role model. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh crap, what am I doing? Because he's watching everything that I'm doing.
Everything,
He's
yeah,
saying
yeah.
everything that I'm saying, and so it kind of put that on me, and it kind of gave me a drive for that.
Yeah, well, it's not that tough when you get to experience the first years. Because after about 2 years, you're like, we didn't kill this kid. All right, we're doing good.
Yeah.
Because it's like everything in the world can kill them when they're, you're worried about falling asleep next to them. You're going to roll
Yep.
over and smush them, or they eat something, choke on something, like put their finger in a light socket, like everything that can
Yep.
go wrong.
Yep.
And you're like, it's constant. Yeah.
You know what's funny though is we grew up in a time where
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you
Come
know,
back before dark.
500-pound fucking TV on top of a fucking 30-pound fucking dresser. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
no light socket fucking protectors, or you go out, ride your bike. When the lights come on, you be home. You know what I mean? I remember I lived 5 blocks east of where we are right now, and I would ride my bike to Newburgh Lake, which is like fucking
Jesus.
10 miles away. Me, Greg Mundy, and Rob Lacka would go down there and fish all
How
fucking
skinny
day
were
long.
you when you did this?
I was skinny, dude.
I was gonna say, that's a long
11
ride.
or 12. It was like 6.5, 7 miles.
What kind of bike was it?
It was I had a 10-speed,
Oh,
which was
okay.
kind of shitty because they had the BMXs,
Yeah.
and they could fucking cut through places, and I'd have to go around because my
Yeah, but
fucking
they'd also have to pedal 4 times around for everyone
right.
yours, depending on what gear
Yeah, but you hit a
were in.
bump too hard, you're flying your chain off your gear
yeah,
link.
exactly.
There.
So,
Yeah.
but I would strap up I think we would like bungee cord shit to the
Frame
just,
and that,
yeah,
or-
just fucking fly out there. Have a little backpack with a bunch of shit in there, little mini tackle boxes, and and then Greg or Rob's mom would come pick us up. And
Now, did
we
you
drove
guys
the
use the
bike.
baseball cards on your spoke, or did you guys do the aluminum can over the tire to make it sound like a dirt bike?
The baseball cards, but I was a baseball card collector,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
would use like Barbaro Garbay's
Yeah.
cards,
Yeah, right.
and not
The
fucking
doubles.
Jose Canseco
Right.
or
Yeah.
some shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember, hearing stories from our parents. Your dad was a collector of cars. My dad was a collector of cards.
Yep.
And back in the day, he was like, "Oh yeah, man, we would take Al K lines and put them in a spoke, and the fucking Al K line rookie cards,
Yeah.
thousands of dollars." I'm
Right.
like, motherfucker, dude.
It's shame. It's
But at
it's,
least it sounded like a dirt bike
Yeah,
for 10
exactly.
minutes.
it's a shame the way that whole industry just died.
So there was a I think it's a Netflix.
Yeah, I
show.
haven't
Did you
watched
watch
it yet. I've seen
It's
it.
really, really good. The dude's from Canada, and I knew the dad. Like I met the dad before. Like they're showing it. And I'm like, I think I was at this card show. It was in Dearborn. I was like, I was there, and then I remember the dude, and it was like, holy shit! But what they did, it was like, I think it was like, but even the old cards, like the 84s and 85s, where they had limited runs, aren't even worth anything anymore.
Right.
Now.
Yep.
You know, like a Ricky Henderson rookie, I had like 3 or 4 of them. They were like $150
Oh,
each.
yeah.
They're like fucking $40 now.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, yeah. If you can sell them, where are you going to sell them?
It's all about how much you can get someone to pay for them. Anyway,
Right.
So
comic books are the way to go right now. Comic books are on fire
Oh,
because
really?
of all the Marvel movies and DC things and everything. Comic books are they're the new. I mean, they've always been popular, but these movies have made them more popular. So now,
I need to unload all my Star Wars shit. Like I'm ready to let it go.
yeah,
Yeah, let's just do it. It's taking up space, man.
right.
I get a whole nother room back if I do that. I'm serious. Like you know what? I don't know.
People
like,
will buy it, won't they?
Yeah, well, my shit's not all like who buys something and leaves it in the package and then just puts it away. You know
You
what I
do?
mean? Especially
40-year-old virgin.
when you're 7. You know, like
Right.
can I get this Darth Vader and just leave it in the wrapper and
It's going to be worth something
hold on
later.
to it? No, I want to take the lightsaber and shove it up Luke's ass or whatever. You know, like, take the cape off or yeah.
So everything's been played with.
Yes. And then at the ex-wife's house, it was underneath the stairs, and then there was apparently a leak, and shit got all over.
Do you want me
So
to take
It's
it
got
for you
all
and
got to
throw
be
it in the
like
garbage?
hand cleaned.
So I was doing a side job somewhere.
Donate it? I meant donate it.
The fuck
That
is
shit's
wrong
worth-
with
that shit's
you?
worth money. If you got like the original like 8 figures, remember that
Right,
they gave
yeah,
out
yeah.
those original 8 figures.
What about the lightsaber that you shoved in what's his
Say it
face's
again.
ass?
Say it again.
The what?
The lightsaber.
You said something way different.
Just
than
a,
that.
like,
Lightsaber.
lightsaber.
Hold on,
lip-
lightsaber.
What about the lip labor?
The lip labor?
But the one where Ben Kenobi's fucking
Yeah.
like it came out of
Yep.
his thing.
The Ben Kenobi?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Ben Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi.
There's a Kenobi Bono. Wait. Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi. His dog, Obi. Yeah.
Well, I
Ben
know
Kenobi.
Obi.
His name is Ben Kenobi, but they call or Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, that's
but
his
they call
real
him
name.
Ben. Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, you
Well,
need to catch up. I thought you were watching all these recently.
You know what? I forgot.
We are Star Wars nerds.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I don't even know which one to watch
Not
first.
her.
Not her.
We
us.
I enjoy Star Wars. My wife hasn't seen a single one.
No.
Doesn't want to.
I do.
It's not
I
for
do.
everybody. Just 99%
But I'm watching them
of
out
people.
of order, and they're not.
Yeah. Well,
Catching my
there's
gift.
a specific order you got.
They
You got to
were
watch
created out
4,
of
5,
order.
6,
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
You have to
So what
stomach
is
1,
number
2,
1?
3.
One.
Number one is
Number
number
one
one is
is-
number 4.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so it's called
technically-
Star Wars number 4.
Technically.
No,
Chronologically.
it's called A New Hope.
It's called A New Hope. Star Wars, A New
so
Hope.
New Hope is number 1. I
Yep,
should
and
watch.
those are the ones that were done in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then they did prequels to those.
Yep.
Yeah, in the
Jedi.
90s.
You
Well,
ever
there
try to
was-
watch the...
Strikes
1
back.
through 6.
It's hard to go
And
back
then-
to old technology when
It
you get
is.
to 4. It's
Yeah.
like,
But it's so much better than the first 3.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know?
And then have you watched the new ones? How do you think? Where are you at on the new ones?
I like them. I think that they're, I don't know, like, I grew up
Oh, God.
not in
Here
that
we
era.
are.
You know? Like, I grew up as all of my cousins who are the cool older cousins grew up with Star Wars. So they're like, guess what? You're going to start on Star Wars as you're a kid. So
Right.
I grew up as a kid watching all those movies and getting all my lightsabers and stuff. And then when 1, 2, 3 came out, I was like, all right, I like these because I'm a kid.
Right.
And then looking back at them versus the storyline, the new ones, I do like them. I think they're all right. They're entertaining at least. You
Yeah.
know, they keep me going. But I just wait till they come out. I don't ever go to the movie theater to go see
Oh,
them.
dude,
so.
I'm there at 4 in the morning usually.
Yeah,
watching
the opening night.
Yeah.
I take the kids. Me and the kids got a little routine. We go. The newest one, December 20th. I think it comes out.
I think so.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Looks pretty sweet.
The new trailer's sweet.
It's the new last one.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the new last one.
Well, and then did you see the trailer for The Mandalorian?
Yes, I have.
Like,
But I'm not subscribing to fucking Disney to watch that
It's
show.
only $7. But there's more. There's more.
Yeah, $7 for 4 minutes of viewing. You know how Disney is. You can't get a water for $7 when you're down there.
But they are going to be because Disney owns Marvel.
Right. Yeah, they're going to be
All
pulling all
that-
that shit off
all
of
that shit's
Netflix and all
coming
that.
over.
Yep.
Everything's going to come over there.
Yep.
So I might.
I'll find a way. I'll
If you have
find
kids,
a way.
you have to get
It'll-
it, right?
Yeah, it'll come. It'll come to. You'll be able to get it for free on fucking one of them free bullshit
Yes,
apps
yes,
a week
yes.
later or whatever. You know.
The quality would be just a little bit less, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I still think Rogue One is the best of all the new.
Yeah.
Newest ones, yeah. I rank that as probably the third best movie overall on all of them. Because I would go Empire, New Hope, and then that one, Rogue One.
Oh, you like New Hope?
Yeah, I like
Better
that.
than...
I think so.
My favorite's Return of the Jedi, hands
Yeah?
down.
Yeah?
Hands down.
Is
Yeah.
it the Ewoks?
Yeah.
No, I think it was the whole transition to the all black with the green lightsaber, and just Luke coming in,
Luke going
because
all goth.
because I remember seeing
Heavy metal
my
Luke.
family made me watch these in order, and I remember watching The Emperor Strikes Back, and I'm like, why do I feel this way after a movie?
Right.
Like, why is this sad?
Yeah, it's the worst
And it's
ending
like,
of
come on.
all.
So I think it was just that gratification of like, yes, we did it.
Well, Luke comes back as a totally different person, and
Yeah.
because Luke all of a sudden is like, "I'm the shit."
Well, he
Yeah.
was
You'll let
kind
that
of a
swagger,
he was kind of a
yes.
little bitch.
He was.
he
in
was
Empire,
absolutely, yeah.
And then he came full circle as a little bitch during Last Jedi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hated his character on that.
yeah,
I thought all the ways they could do this, and this is what you do.
right. Him milking a
Yeah,
big giant.
cow on his head.
I guess they're gonna explain, or they explained, or something like
Yeah,
that. What it was all about? Yeah, I don't either. So, all right, we're gonna take a real quick break. When we come back, you can play a couple tunes for us.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna talk about Palooza, and then of course at 8:30 we have our favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment, Dumb Shit with Dawn.
Or as we like to call it, Sunday.
No.
Yep.
Dumb shit at
Dumb Shit with
8:30.
Dawn. Yes, and then I got a couple stories for big and bigger news and headlines that we're going to do a little bit later. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. You're listening to Big and Bigger here on Cave Radio, episode number 215. We got Levi Bootcut in the studio, and he's going to be playing us a couple tunes. When we come back, peace.
Yeah.
in misery. Let it go. Oh yeah. The results are in. You're not my friend. You crossed the line, lost your mind. Now you're all alone. Don't you call my phone, 'cause the smell on you is rotten to the bone. Because of jealousy, wrapped up in envy, makes you a friend of me, locks you in misery. Let it go, jealousy, wrapped up in envy, makes you an enemy, locks you in misery. Let it go. Oh yeah. The results are in. You're not my friend. Your game is up. Now you're going what the lost and confused. All you do is abuse. The smell on you, it's got to acting like a fool. Jealousy, wrapped up in envy, makes you an enemy, locks you in misery. Let it go, jealousy, wrapped up in envy, makes you an enemy, locks you in misery. Let it go. You better let it go. You gotta let it go. Jealousy is rotten to the your instigation, your agitation brings aggravation. It brings out the worst in you. Lost and confused, all you do is abuse. The smell on you, it's got you acting like a fool. Jealousy, wrapped up in envy, makes you a friend of me, locks you in misery. Let it go, jealousy, wrapped up in envy, makes you a friend of me, locks you in misery. Let it go, it's rotten to the bone. You better let it go. Higher, jealousy, makes you an enemy, locks you in misery. Let it go.
For your brand new telephone, you never pick up when I call. Well, for your brand new telephone, you never pick up when I call. Your number rings busy. Oh, I don't get nothing, nothing at all. Well, for your brand new wristwatch, never know what time to come home. Well, I bought you a brand new wristwatch. You never know what time to come home. You leave me here sitting. You leave me all alone. So sad. Bring a pair of tennis shoes. You run around all night long. All night long, you run around. Well, I bought you a brand new pair of tennis shoes. You run around all night long. The way you be treating me, I know you been doing that. Oh, so.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Big and Bigger here on Cave Radio Broadcasting, www.crbradio.com. This is Big and Bigger, episode number 215. I want to thank everyone for listening, whether it be on the Cave Radio apps, which you can get on your Android or iPhone. Just search Cave Radio, all one word, or on Cave Radio Broadcasting's YouTube page. Cave Radio Broadcasting is how you find that. At Real Cave Radio on Twitter. And, of course, on my page and on the Cave Radio Facebook page, you can catch us live. And then, as always, on www.crbradio.com. Levi Bootcut is joining us today. You know what today is, though, guys? Second fucking Sundays with Augie.
Well, no, it isn't.
And guess who the fuck ain't here right now?
Augie.
Yeah. So I think we might have to make a phone call and see if Uncle Augie is... real Uncle Augie is going to be around. So we'll try doing that a little bit later. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, Levi Bootcut and the Straight Legs are playing this weekend at LO Palooza, Saturday, September 14th at the Wildwood Amphitheater. All money goes to support the Daisy Project. If you listened to the show a couple weeks ago, Shannon was in here, and she told us all the amazing things that are going on with the Daisy Project. And if you aren't down with that, then you can get the fuck off my friends list because this is an amazing, amazing event with some great people. Sawyer Fredericks, the Native Howl, Levi, Trippin' Dixie, Escaping Pavement, 2XL, and the Gasoline Gypsies are all performing all day long. It's an all-day event. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Vendors. I think I don't know if it's a carnival type thing or whatever, but I mean, they got stuff for kids. It's all ages. It's going to be really cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, Levi Bootcut.
How's that? Can you hear me out there, music world? All right, it's a song I wrote with a couple buddies that we named Gina. I woke up this morning with a pounding in my head, replaying all those things that I should have never said. After my surprise, had your bags packed by the door. Whoa. Sinking feeling, I just don't know. Yeah, I swear that she's leaving. She grabbed on the keys to her car. Yeah, she said I was lazy, spent too much time in this bar. I don't know what you're doing, but I know that she thinking about me no more. Yeah, I swear that she's leaving. Me and my lady been together a while now. We've had our ups and downs. Tell her I love her and she knows that I mean it. Lately smiles been a frown. She said she loved me forever, but forever and always is just a dream in my head. Feels all alone when we go to bed. Well, you didn't tell me what I did wrong, baby. You always complain I never put you in a song, baby. Yeah, it's about time I wrote this one down. 'Cause this one's gone to number one. Just like you, it'll get around. 'Cause yeah, I know that you're leaving. Oh, I can see her tail lights fading fast. Yeah, who knows how far that she's going on an empty tank of gas. I could have told her, but my bartender's cute. She keeps refilling my glass. Yeah, I know that she's leaving. Well, you never listened to what I had to say, baby. You didn't like my friends much anyway, baby. Yeah, it's about time I wrote this one down. 'Cause now I know I don't need you to have a good night on the town. 'Cause yeah, I'm glad that she's leaving, so I can hit on the women in this bar. Yeah, I mean my new friend Gina. Shit, she left her bra in my car. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I'm not thinking about her no more. Yeah, I'm glad that she's leaving. Yeah, I'm glad that you're leaving. Yeah, I'm glad that she's leaving. Thanks, guys.
That's fucking sweet. I like the humor in it too.
You gotta keep people interested in it, right? If you don't write songs with a little bit of substance in them, then they're just a little bit boring.
Yeah. Well, who is it? Jim Valvano.
Dr. Dirty?
No, Jim Valvano.
Wait, who's
the
Dirty?
old coach of the
Jimmy
NC
V.
State. Jimmy V does the famous
Oh.
speech, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Bring yourself."
Don't give up.
Yeah,
don't
think of
ever
John
give
Valby.
up.
That's not the.
Well, he's in there in his thing. He's like, "You got to bring yourself to tears every day. You have to make sure you laugh every day,
Yeah.
and all that stuff." And that's an important thing to do, and especially in music. You can. That song probably would have been memorable, but that made it more memorable. Just
Well, everybody's got a breakup song, you know, and they kind of put a damper on it, so it's a little bit of you know, I don't know, redemption at the end, right? You got that flag, that broad, hang that from your car.
you got another one for us?
I do.
Levi Bootcut, ladies and gentlemen.
This one's called Que Pasa Mufasa. Ran down to the beach for a couple of weeks, looking to ease my mind. I met a sweet Latin girl sitting there at the bar. Oh my, she looked fine. So I said, hey, bartender, pour some straw. Tell her it's from the Lion Man. Well, then she looked at me with them come give me eyes. That's when it all began, yeah. And she said, Que pasa, Mufasa? What you doing tonight? Well, I'd like to get you out on the town, get you high as a kite. I went on down to the beach for a couple of drinks. We buried our toes in the sand. We were dancing in the moonlight when a waves crashed on the shore. Grabbed me up by my hand. Pulled me in close while your hips swayed so. Dancing to the rhythm of the sea. Yeah, now, coconut kiss, baby, call me and I'm blessed. 'Cause that's what you asked for to me, yeah. Ooh. And she said, Que pasa, Mufasa? What you doing tonight? Well, I'd like to get you out on town, get you high as a kite. I said, hey, mamacita, glad you came on over to me. I wanna get a little closer, choose a sweet company, yeah. No, 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 no. Said, hey, mamacita, that you came over to me. I wanna get a little bit closer to the sweet company. Yeah, yeah, que pasa, Mufasa? And what you doing tonight? I wanna take you out on town and get you high as a kite. I said, hey, mamacita, I'm glad you came on over to me. I wanna get a little closer, choose a sweet company. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Singing the na 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 na. Singing the na 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 na. Sweet Lord, have mercy, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
You know, Big Al back here when he's grooving to a country song, you know it's good.
Yeah, not a country fan.
I was thinking the same thing because I was jamming.
Listen, I
Migos,
host
too.
karaoke at a country bar, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Is it country growing on you yet?
I put your picture away.
No, dude, we literally have a sign next to the booth that says absolutely no pictures. Because that would be 5 requests a night.
A
minimum,
night, everyone.
No, there's a couple songs that I'm all right with at karaoke.
Yeah.
You know, they're not quite as twangy at karaoke
Yeah.
as they are, you know, the version that's on the radio. I
Absolutely.
struggle with country. I really do.
Well, I won't put too much twang on it. Don't
No,
I?
you're
I'm
good,
still
man.
Michigan
You're good.
boy.
You're good, dude.
So let's you want to put that away for a minute if you
Yeah.
want, and we'll talk some more, and then maybe have you play a couple to close us out. So we like to have a little fun when we interview the guest in the second segment, and kind of like I told you, get a little personal with you, get to know you a little bit more.
You weren't
personally.
already personal? Asking
Well,
about my pipeline?
Your pipeline? No, no. That's a good one.
The pipeline.
So the first question to kind of break the ice and get you wondering what we're going to be talking about is if you could bang any cartoon character, which cartoon character would you bang?
Let's see.
And I know your wife's here, and it's a little uncomfortable because she's going to be like, he fucks cartoon characters in his dream. But
I think to make it even, she should have to answer.
yeah,
too.
I think so too. So your mic's
Agree.
on. Your mic's on.
Hello.
Because the argument on the way home needs to be two-sided. You know, you can't just be like, you know, just getting on him the whole time. You got to be able to answer too.
This one's, I don't know. I've never thought about it that way.
Most people haven't.
If I had to pick one,
Yep.
well, in this reference, I made a reference to it before. It's that Dragon Ball Z cartoon. That's the one that was like right at prime puberty.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z. There's that blue-haired girl named Bulma.
Okay.
I'd pick her
Okay.
Bulma.
if you had to pick one.
What about
Yeah.
you, Georgia?
Bulma.
Yeah. Right.
I know you've never thought of it either, I'm sure.
Yeah, never.
All right.
And- never.
Who would you pick?
My mind is really bad because the only cartoons I can think of right now are like Cat Dog and SpongeBob.
So Squidward?
Squidward it is. He's
I'm-
got all
I'm
the
gonna-
tentacles.
I'm going to pass on this one if that's okay.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
By the way, Alyssa said that they're from Oakland.
Oh, Native
Native
Hall.
Hall. There's, I guess, the city they're actually. But the studio's in a different. I think the studio's in a different.
Like Leonard. I think
Yeah,
that's
that is
Leonard.
it.
Yeah.
Leonard. Yeah. Leonard, Michigan. All right. Let's see here. What's your favorite cop duo?
Good one. Because the one that first comes to mind, because it's iconic, but I don't know their name, is I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly. Mark Wahlberg and
Oh,
and
yeah,
Will Ferrell and
the other
good
guys.
The
The other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those guys, but I'll be honest, Starsky and Hutch always is.
The
you know.
original?
Well, I guess if
Or
I'm
Ben Stiller
truly
and Owen
thinking
Wilson.
cop duos, because that made me think of good cop duos. No,
Right.
Buford T. Justice
Yeah.
and
Roscoe
And
P.
Roscoe.
Yes, thank you.
Come on,
Yeah.
Flash, we're going for Little Rat.
What was that? Deputy Enos.
Enos.
Enos, Big Enos, and Little Enos Burdett. Gotta
No,
get-
no, that was from
that was
Smoking the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit.
That was Smoking the
Well,
Bandit.
that's Buford T. Justice.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm-
that's right. Yeah.
I'm thinking
You're right.
of
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
What was
Boss
this?
Hog.
What was
And
Buford T-
Cooter.
Yeah, Buford T. Justice and his son. What was
Junior.
Junior.
His name was
Yeah.
Cooter.
Remind me when we get home to slap your mama.
Dude, that shit was so good.
Okay,
So
always
just the
wanted
other day,
one of those
I came
Trans
across on my little time hop thingy or whatever, where it said it was Burt Reynolds had just passed away. So 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it was.
Yeah.
And it was him. Oh no, it wasn't Burt
Yeah,
Reynolds.
hold
It
up.
was the
Burt
other
Reynolds
guy.
died?
Did he die?
No, Burt Reynolds.
It was the other guy. It was the other guy.
Jerry Reed?
Yeah, Jerry Reed had died.
going on?
And it was like, hey, St. Peter wants to, has a shipment or whatever, and he's like, tell him we'll be there in 24 hours.
Right.
But isn't Burt Reynolds dead?
don't
Burt
know.
Reynolds is dead.
No,
He's close to death.
I didn't think so.
Is he on our list?
This year? No, but I think Burt Reynolds died.
Pretty sure Betty White died too.
Nope, she's still alive. She
Oh, my
kicked off
God.
the
Dude, she
NFL
was on.
season.
She was on the other day.
Yeah, then she died.
Yeah, he died in 2018. So it
well,
was his. Because
must
Jerry
have
Reed
been
had died the year before, I think. Yeah, September 6th. So it was just the other day, 2 days ago.
Holy hell.
But yeah, you didn't know that. Huh?
I'm blown. Where have I been the past year?
making a record, buying a house,
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
fixing your house.
I mean, come on, you're not just on Burt Reynolds' website all the time, like checking in on him every day.
All right, so this one is usually one when we got a band. It's a lot, you get the different answers, but it's it's Levi
Hey,
Bootcut.
it's all about you, baby.
It is. So
I can project answers for everybody else.
right. So you get to pick your dream show. Any band can be in there. Two bands can be there with you, but the bands can be dead or alive. past or present, and you get to pick the venue that this is happening at. So I already know what one of your answers is going to be because you said that was who you modeled your career after.
Travis Tritt.
Who would be the second person that would be with you, and where would this happen? So Travis Tritt, Levi Bootcut, and who and where?
At a bonfire.
Oh.
Or like a backyard
wanna
show.
be there.
Something like that, like a
Acoustic.
personal backyard
Your wife
show.
just fucking was like, what?
Yeah, right? No, like, I'd love, like, a backyard show with them. Because to me, it's like the performance, get like 20 Front Street, something like that, where
Right.
it's small, intimate type of thing.
100 plus people.
Yeah, you know, something like that where it's not like, because I don't, you know, you get a big crowd and then you get pushed in the back and it's not as enjoyable as you want it to be where you're really sitting there. And so Travis Tritt's definitely it. And man, I got to toss up because, you know, I want to say, I'm just going to go out and say the Eagles.
Okay.
Because each member in the Eagles I'd love to talk to.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'd love to just, like, pick their brains,
Right.
you know, and what they've been able to do over the years, you know.
One of the best
That'd be a cool bonfire.
harmony songs.
Yes.
Harmony bands, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, every single one of them.
Plus,
sang.
Travis Tritt's the one who brought the Eagles back together
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
in his music video where he redid "Taking It Easy," and he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
that beautiful black with the long,
Yeah, the long
dangles.
Do you
and
have
that
one, do you have one of
suit.
those coats?
No, but I really need to get it. George and I have been talking about how I need to get a stylist. She's like,
Say no to
do you
tassels.
realize what you wear before you go out on stage? I'm like, oh, no, I just wore this to work earlier today.
Yeah,
It'll
exactly.
be fine.
Say no to tassels.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Rhinestones?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Rhinestone
You guys
Cowboy.
see? Well, I know you didn't, but there's that new band Midland. That's the country band. It's a trio guys. They're all over the place in Nashville, and they got those cowboy suits.
Oh,
like
really?
each one of them's got a different tailored cowboy suit, and they always go out with their long hair, kind of mullet looking, but just good '80s cowboy suits.
I was
And
watching.
they do good harmonies.
There was a video on Facebook, and it was an old, like, disco / soul band from like the '70s. It was three black guys. They were done up like straight up cowboys, but then everything was lined
Oh,
in
yeah.
sequence and shit.
I saw
You
that.
see that?
before, yeah. So, this fucking thing, this lady posted this thing earlier, and it says, every man I've asked if they were a woman for a day, what would they do?
Stay home.
And they always say, be a gold digger. What do you think I put? I would masturbate all day.
Yeah, exactly.
They were like, not as easy as it is with a wang, and then just fucking all the chicks are dying laughing.
Dude, I wouldn't leave the house.
For sure, dude.
I would know that body inside and out by the time I got done. My pipeline would be all raw.
Dude, and then what do you
Like,
do with the other 23
I-
hours?
anything I could stuff in there, I would try to stuff it in there. Especially if it was just for a day and I was giving it back to somebody else. Like, sorry. Sorry about that, by the way. If you can get that Nerf football out of there, kudos. Greatly
Oh,
apologize.
shit.
Which
right.
one? Wait. is
Depends
it
on
the one-
whose body too, though. If it had to be like if you could swap with your sister for a day, it's
No.
like okay. In that case, I'm not leaving the house, and I'm wearing like 4 layers of pajamas, and I'm gonna watch TV all day.
You have to put a
You know,
bra
eat
on
bonbons
your
or
sister's
whatever.
tits if it was your sister.
Oh, trust me, I'd have a snowsuit on. I don't want to see any of it.
But
I don't
you'd
want to
feel
see a
it.
single thing of
Hey,
it.
you can't walk without a bra and not feel it. Just saying.
That's why I said he'd lay down and not move or do
Listen,
anything.
I'm
Just
not
put it
far
on.
from that right now. Okay, so I got a solid B cup.
He's like,
going.
I already look like my
So
sister.
we were talking on the grill show the other day about someone said something about Morgan because there's a picture. Did you see the picture of her serving and her
I think so.
giant breasts or whatever? And I'm
Oh.
like, I prayed that my daughter got my sister's boobs and not my ex-wife's boobs, and she got
Man.
my ex-wife's boobs. So today she's like, oh, me and mom are bra shopping. I'm like,
Good.
It's
Thank
like Allie, I'm
God.
always like, you need to cover
Her
that
mom
shit
was a
up.
volleyball player, though, so she knows what bras to get for her.
yeah. Well, Erica wears 2 when she plays sports because hers are. I mean, her fucking boobs are as big as my head, dude.
Dude, mine are so. When I golf, they are so. I have to wear my tightest, like, strap it on. What?
Dawn can't even straighten her arms all the way when she goes to golf.
Dude, I
She's
know.
like one
I
of the guys
can't.
that can't wipe their ass because their arms are so fucking.
No, I gotta go like above my.
Can someone
boobs
wipe my
off.
butt?
No. Hey,
I can't reach.
I can't. My arms are so big I can't reach my butt.
I got too much back fat, man. It's getting in the way. Got little T-Rex arms.
She's so glad she came.
She's loving it.
Oh, man. All right, so 2 bands of venue. You said the Eagles and Travis Tritt in your backyard or at a bonfire. All right. So that was what with the Gypsy Fest. I know. They're both high as fuck right now, so that's why.
Giggles and
Gypsy
Brad.
Fest.
Shut up.
Gypsy Fest.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly how it was.
Dicks.
What?
Big ass fucking
Titties?
No, yeah, everywhere. No. Bonfire, all kinds of cool
yeah.
shit, stage, 150 people
Yeah.
fucking having a blast.
Pretty sweet.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was pissed that I had to go home, but I didn't really go home. I went up north and hung out with
You didn't canoe?
my kids.
Canoe.
They
I
don't
stayed
canoe,
the
they
night.
float. But
Oh,
could you
they
imagine-
tube?
Could you imagine me canoeing?
They too?
I used
Yeah,
to be a
they
good
tie their
canoer.
tubes together in a big circle.
Tie their tubes together.
Jesus
They
Christ.
and they tube down. Did you see the
They
hammock?
got all in the pipeline and tie their tubes together.
See the hammock
No.
on the river?
Oh, yeah, that was in the river? Yeah, I did see that. Freaking someone was in a suit out there. Did you see Joe floating down the river? Joe Makowski, Gasoline Gypsies drummer. Fucking amazing
In a
motherfucker.
Speedo.
In the Speedo. He gets in there, he starts swimming away. He's like, so then they're up in Saugatuck.
Holding Nate's
They're up in
hand. I was like,
Saugatuck,
look at
and
how cute they
they're like,
are.
well, Caleb gets on. He's like, well, we need a drummer. We fucking.
Right.
He went floating down the river, and he's like, wait, what is that? And it's him swimming. He's like, what's up, guys? Just swam down the river and up Lake Michigan to Saugatuck. I love those guys, man. All right, so this one's a little weird question, too. And then we're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to come back with Dumb Shit with Dawn.
Which will get even weirder.
Yeah.
Just gets weirder from here. By the way.
So this one, you got to think a little bit.
right.
Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Oh man, I don't have to think. I'm allergic
This
to
is
horses.
hand-to-hand
You're
combat.
allergic to horses?
Like hands down, like they would just
Wait a minute. Wait.
swell up so much. I'd have
on
to
a
fight the
second.
duck. I'd have to.
Hold on a
They
second.
just smother me.
Hold on a second. Just horses, like not all farm
animal
animals.
dander.
Okay, all right.
But horses, for some odd reason, are just terrible. I don't know.
How'd
what
you
it
find
is.
that out?
My dad's side of the family, he grew up a simple dairy farmer, and so my aunt down in Virginia, I'd go see her all the time, and they got horses there. And my whole face is swelled up, my throat swelled up.
Jesus.
That was bad. They called an ambulance because they didn't know what was going on. And then
Last time you blew a horse, wasn't it?
yeah, last time, man. Yeah.
Fuck that horse.
Yeah. So ever since, I can't go near horses. We used to rehearse for our our band practice, and my country band was out at my buddy's horse farm. So I'd get there and I'd start practice, and everything be fine. And by the end of it, I'd be like, "Guys, you guys got any Benadryl? I can't breathe."
You look Asian. Your eyes are
Just
all swole up.
Everything, just like
Is it
constant
oozing?
napkins just to get all the tears from them. And once you rub your eye once,
Yeah,
you're done.
You're done.
Yep.
Done. So.
There's a cat that lives at my house with my roommate, and she's a cool cat. And I pet it, and I forget. And
Oh, you're allergic to cats?
No, but I mean, everyone is in a way, And I just you go to itch your eyes or something. You're like, oh,
Dude, it's like my allergies in like the springtime.
Yeah.
It's like a game. When the
Mine's
eye starts
fall.
to itch, and it's like, scratch me. And it's like, I want to. I want to scratch you. And then if I'm not even thinking about it and I just itch it once, then it's like the membrane inside like your eyelids, that will swell up like halfway over my eyeball. It's bad. So
Like
it's
a shark? Like a shark eye?
Exactly like a shark.
they don't have eyeballs. or
Don't they,
eyelids.
don't they have the thing that covers it? A membrane?
I mean, that's a,
It's saying in the membrane.
I'm gonna
Cats
have
have 2 eyelids that do that.
I think a shark does.
And his cousin's got 3 balls.
All right, so duck is your answer. The
Yeah,
horse-sized
have
duck.
to fight the duck.
All right, we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Dumb Shit with Dawn. And then we're going to close the show out with some more questions for Levi. And we're going to talk about... Actually, you know what? Before we go to Dumb Shit with Dawn, L.O. Palooza.
Yes.
What is your connection with that? Because you've done it a few years in a row now.
Yeah, this will be my 3rd year. And I've met the fine people, Tim Williams and Shannon Shones. And those guys have been really like a fire under my ass to get doing some music stuff. And they've been supporting me through it. And Palooza at Wildwood Amphitheater at that Civic Center Park right off Joslin Road there. I grew up playing soccer there.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's where I had all my soccer camps growing up, and so it's like right in my backyard. So to be able to play a venue there, it's always been really cool. And I've always just asked them like, hey, if I get a band together, you think you could let me on? And they did. And I've been there the past 3 years, and I enjoy it ever since. And have since been able to meet all the ladies in the Daisy Project. So shout out to them. Hey, and,
they specially made me a shirt.
Oh yeah.
did they?
The biggest size
put
they
two
had was
together?
2X. Yeah, so they decided so it suits two together. No, I'm kidding.
It's got 4 arms.
Wow.
2
No.
head holes.
No,
It's got a hole in the middle.
she reached out to me because I said something. I saw the shirts and I was like, "Hey, I want one. You have anything in fat guy size?" They're like 2X. I'm like fatter.
Need a 4X medium.
So she was like, "What do you need?" And I go, "3X is fine." And she's like, "Yeah, I'll have it for you at the show." So
Sweet.
yeah,
Be made out of canvas.
yeah.
Water repellent.
So LO Palooza. They came in last year and talked, Shannon and Tim, and we got on board with it this year. We definitely. I mean, plus it's on my birthday, so
Right.
it's a great birthday present.
Absolutely.
Even though it's not really a birthday present, but I mean, some of the bands that are going to be there. The Native Howl, it's only their second show in Michigan. They're touring all over the freaking country. Levi Bootcut and Straight Legs, Trippin' Dixie, who the day before is opening up for Kid Rock.
Yep.
That night is opening up for Dierks Bentley.
Yep.
Up in Grand Blanc, and then Escaping Pavement. Is it Grand Blanc or Grand Blanc? Blanc.
But say Blanc.
Hey, it's
Sounds
fancy.
a lot
You got to
more
put your
fancier.
pinky out when you say
Grand
blanc.
Blanc. 2XL, which I heard. I haven't heard them yet, but I heard they're an amazing band.
They're great. They run the sound too.
Yeah. Okay. And then our buddies, the Gasoline Gypsies.
Is this
are
the
also-
order of performance?
Nope.
No, that's no. Because you said what time do you go on?
We're on at noon, and then Trippin' Dixie's on at 1, and then after that, I can't remember.
Until you go on before Native Howl and
Yeah,
Gasoline Gypsies.
yeah. I'll do some.
So I know
acoustic
it goes
stuff.
the Gypsies, Native Howl, Fredericks are the
Yeah.
closing three. So Escaping Pavement and 2XL got to be in there somewhere. So head on out there Saturday, September 14th at the Wildwood Amphitheater. You can still get tickets right now for $15 if you go to lopalooza.org. That's LOPALOOZA.org. And you can get tickets for $15. If you don't get them beforehand, you can get them at the door for $20. And this place is, I heard it's like 3,500 seats or something like that. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, the big old amphitheater is just a giant hill. It's like
Yeah.
DTE.
So there's really no seats. but,
Yeah. Bring your lawn chairs and your
blanket.
It's a
blankets.
3,500 person hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily put that many. Probably. I don't know. I'm not good on my human estimation numbers per square footage.
Wall
But if I had
squat.
to
You
guess,
definitely could only put like 2,000 of me in there. 3,500 normal people can fit in there. So, all right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. We'll talk more about Palooza. We'll talk more to Levi. But more importantly, we're going to have dumb shit with Dawn. So,
Oh, shit.
we'll be
More
back.
importantly,
We'll be back in, let's see, let's go 7 minutes. 8 minutes. We'll be back in 8 minutes with Dumb Shit with Dawn. Be back.
with the nighttime feeling good in my skin. We've had a wild time, drop the sign down when it's not gonna end. Just got one thought in my head, I gotta get back home. Wish I could stay, but instead, gotta get back home. Hey, yo, what happened to the beat? Got no bills in my pocket. Last rainy go. Got bartender should stop it. You know we're out of control. These burning lines entwined with the lights hanging low. These warm signs bring my eyes when the evening before. It's time to head for that door. Gotta get back home. Ain't got no time for one more. Trying to get back home. Gotta get back home. Trying to get back home. Where's my wallet? Where's my key? Thinking that my state's gone now. Who's the beat? Where am I going? What's the time? If I can get my head in my bed, then I think everything's gonna be just fine. Oh, baby.
For the best Italian fare in Metro Detroit, you've got to try Bella Piatti. Venetian-born chef Francesco Apollonia prepares his style of Italian cuisine using only the finest ingredients. Located at 167 Townsend in Birmingham, Michigan, across from the Townsend Hotel. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Friday or dinner on Saturday night. Check out our happy hour Tuesday through Friday from 4 to 6:30 p.m. at the bar or on the patio. Enjoy $6 appetizers, $3 glasses of wine, and $2 off cocktails. Call 248-494-7110 for dining room reservations. Bella Piatti in Birmingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Slovakian trap cone. That's correct. It is one of those. It's an anal butt plug that's shaped in a cone that is super small for men, Czechoslovakian men.
What?
Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia.
From Czechoslovakia?
Czechoslovakia.
That's Badako.
Shut up.
I'm excited.
You know what, Levi?
This is gonna be hilarious. I've never heard that.
Yeah, okay.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Big and Bigger here on Cave Radio Broadcasting, www.crbradio.com. We got the camera in a little bit different
That's a little
position.
bit aggressive.
Right. It's right up on.
Hi.
It's no worse than the one Al does.
No,
every
but
week.
it's way different.
Can we take the master down a little bit on the cans? Just a little bit.
yeah.
All
All right.
cool.
So, welcome back, everyone, to Big and Bigger here on Cave Radio Broadcasting, episode number 215. We got Levi Bootcut in here. He's played us a couple tunes. We're going to talk about LO Palooza after we're done with Dumb Shit with Dawn. All right, so here's the thing. Dumb Shit with Dawn, we asked Dawn questions that a fifth grader can answer. That's the gist of the show. I asked my 15-year-old daughter and my 12-year-old son, who are in 11th or 10th and 7th grade, so they're not
Hi,
fifth
Morgan.
graders.
Hi, Mason.
Morgan got 6 wrong, but she got one of the bonus questions, which I just added to the thing. So she ended up getting 4 wrong. And Mason got 8 wrong, but got one of the bonus questions. So he only got 6 points.
And ironically, we have a teacher.
And we have a 4th grade teacher here. So we're going to see.
shit.
I'm pretty sure she'll be able to answer most of these. But if she's a 4th grade teacher, she's answered or talked about a lot of this. All right.
I'm going to zen you.
So
Remember zen you.
here's the only rule: is we ask that you don't say anything. She will get the answer,
Sometimes.
Not always.
but it takes her a minute to get
Her
it.
mouth works a little faster than her brain does.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's our first question.
My mouth does work pretty fast. I don't know what to
began.
say.
All right,
Here, let me put these on.
How many nickels are in a dollar?
5. 5 times 20.
Oh.
Good job. Good job.
Ding, 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 ding.
Question number 1. How many oceans are on the Earth?
You're going to make me name them.
That'd be nice.
7.
There's 7 continents. 7 continents. How many oceans?
5.
Oh.
Very good. Can you
Name
name them?
Pacific, Atlantic. No. Because that's about it.
You get the Pacific and Atlantic. Those are the big ones.
Shit, no.
Up top.
Oh,
Arctic.
Arctic. All right, and then on the bottom.
Atlantic.
No.
Oh.
It's the southern.
Antarctic.
No, it's the southern ocean.
Polar.
No, it's the Southern Ocean is the name of it.
The Southern Ocean?
Yeah, I didn't
Say
know
what?
this. It's the newest ocean.
Hey,
Say what?
What?
No, that's not
hey.
No, it is.
right. That's not right.
Yes, it is.
Google it.
The
Somebody Google
Southern
it.
Ocean?
Google that shit.
I'm not going to Google it because
All right, the oceans.
Listen,
okay.
man, I went
the
through it
Baltic
5 times.
Sea.
Okay, so-
that's an ocean. No, that's not
That's
an
a sea.
ocean.
Pacific, Atlantic,
Arctic,
Indian.
Indian.
and Southern. It wasn't called the Southern Ocean
What
when
was
we
it
were
called
going to
when we
school.
grew
What was it
I ain't
called?
hip.
There were only 4 when we were in school.
All right, so yeah, when we were in school, there was only 4.
So I got
5
2.
now.
I got 3 right.
And this is the new. So
So I got.
you got
I got 3/4.
This is that whole Mandela effect
right.
thing.
You got the answer right because you said 5.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Historically, there are 4 named ocean basins: the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, and Arctic. However, most countries, including the United States, now recognize the Southern Antarctic as the
Antarctic,
5th ocean.
that's
But
what-
during
Well,
the
I said
test,
Antarctic.
if they don't answer it, it's still
Still-
not correct. You don't have to mark it incorrect.
Okay. All right. There you go. There's our 4th grade teacher. All right.
Yay!
Okay. What's the shortest distance between 2 points?
The shortest distance X.
The shortest distance between 2 points is.
It may be correct in a math problem.
Measurement. Straight line.
There you go.
Boom. Straight line.
Although I prefer
This
X.
is Eric. Eric was doing this to me, guys, like this.
Pipeline.
Yeah.
A pipeline.
I was
All right.
thinking
A to B.
What is a male chicken called?
rooster cock. Both right? They're both right.
Yeah, they're
I
both
get
right.
2. Any cockle do?
What is a group of
That's her Friday night call right there.
No, that's my name is Dawn. That's my early morning call, bitch.
what is a group of singers in a church called?
Choir.
Core.
I don't even know how to say the OI word.
Spell it.
How do you say that?
Quar.
Quar.
All right.
Say it down south.
Or.
What state is known as the Bayou State?
Oh, that's the one that has alligators and that one weird guy that talked like.
It's right by.
Hold on, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Wow. What were you going to say? Louisiana?
No, I just caught something in my throat.
Oh, okay.
Louisiana.
In her pipeline.
Their pipeline.
Her oral pipeline.
Oh, God. I was joking.
All right.
God, shut the camera.
During a car race, when
Yes.
the cars go in to change the tires and get gas, what
Pit
is that?
stop.
Wow.
Damn.
You didn't let me finish the question.
Easy ones.
Yeah. What is a baby frog or toad called?
Hold on. I do know this. Hold on. Tadpole.
Wow.
Wow.
Tadpole.
This bit isn't funny at all anymore.
Because I know shit.
What year did America adopt the Declaration of Independence?
God. 1976. 5.
Wrong.
1777. 6.
Wrong. Yep. What?
1776.
Yep. There you go.
I'm gonna give you a quarter because you got it on the fourth try. But 1976 was the bicentennial.
That's the year I was born. Actually.
What do baby elephants suck with?
Their nose, trunk, lips,
What does everything
Tongue?
suck with?
Mouth.
your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mouth. You sure got a dirty mouth, baby elephant.
Yeah.
wow.
What's the difference between
Suckling.
What's the difference between a map and a globe?
One's round and one's flat. Right?
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you for that.
Thank you.
I was the answers that went through my head when I read it were like, "Oh my god, this would be amazing."
Topography.
One.
Can you name the first 3 presidents of the United States of America?
Washington.
And
Johnny Edwards.
Johnny
Edwards, Adams.
the psychic.
Johnny Adams.
Johnny Appleseed?
John Adams.
He's there?
That's the second one.
Oh, my God. All right. How about, hold on. Taft. Jefferson.
Jesus.
Abraham Lincoln.
No, you got it with the third guess, Jefferson.
Oh.
Taft. He was like,
23rd?
I don't know.
If he was, though, hold on. That'd be hilarious.
I'm gonna give you half on that one because you fucked up.
Unless it's the
Adams.
23rd. If it's the 23rd, I get it all.
You get 1.5. If it's the 23rd.
What was Taft?
27th.
Oh!
So close.
Oh, God. That was
so close,
that
man.
would have been badass, wouldn't it?
It would have.
God.
Hilarious.
All right. What is Superman's alias?
Oh, that Clark Kent guy. No, that is Superman. Hold on. Vanderbilt. Is that him?
Fucking talked yourself right out of it.
Did I?
What is Vanderbilt?
Who the fuck is Vanderbilt?
I don't know.
Voldemort? Fucking Harry Potter?
He whose name should not be spoken?
Shit, man. I think I'm swallowing.
All right.
It's like
so,
Voldemort's
hold on,
department
what did
store.
I-
You had the right answer, and then you
I
just
did?
talked yourself right out of it.
Clark Kent?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you named the Harry Potter department store Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt.
What the fuck, dude? I'll give you the thing because you said it first, but you talked yourself right the
I
fuck
was
out
just
of
going to
it.
let her keep talking. I wasn't going to say a word.
Oh my god, man.
Stupid.
All right. What makes the oceans tide, rise, and fall?
Gravitation. Right? Gravity?
Gravity? No.
Gravitation. The
What?
moon.
Yes, the moon.
The moonular. Is it, what is it called?
You tell us.
Municular? Moonucular? Gravitation, right? The moon gravity pull. Gravipole. She's over here giving me thumbs up.
She's like, just stop talking.
Okay, I know. That's my.
It's called positive reinforcement teaching.
Right.
You're doing great.
Oh my god!
All
I
right.
know.
Excellent
Just
wrong
stop
answer.
talking.
What is the name of the large salt lake in Utah?
Salt Lake City.
That's the name of the city in Utah.
Salt Lake Sea.
No.
I
It's
don't
the
know.
biggest inland lake in the world.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Oh God.
No, it isn't.
I mean, because
liar.
I guess
don't
Michigan,
know.
Lake Michigan, and all them are inland, but they're all connected. This
So
one is the biggest independently.
I don't know.
It's the Great Salt Lake.
Isn't that great?
Great.
The Great Salt Lake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
obvious.
What are you doing if you're using an abacus?
Oh.
Counting.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm a good counter.
Which ocean is between Africa and Australia?
Ocean. All right, so there's only 4. Hold
Well,
on.
technically.
Technically, there's 4, yes. Which ocean is between Africa and Australia? Or
It's not
What did
going
I
to
say?
be the
Yeah,
South
Africa and Australia.
Antarctic.
no.
It's not going to be the Arctic. It's going to be the Atlantic?
No.
Indian Ocean.
Yeah, Indian.
Fuck.
Who is known as the friendly ghost?
Oh.
Casper.
Damn, I didn't know.
Yeah, I have a nephew and
I
niece.
know, but
They're
I thought
little.
I was going to catch you on something. I didn't. You did really well this time. All right, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 3/4.
Oh my God, I'm right on the cusp.
So, all right, you got one more.
One
What-
more?
One more in the
Then
first
the
round, and we get the
bonus.
2 bonus questions. All right. What sport do players shove circular stones across the ice while the other players sweep?
I know this. Hold on. That's called clustering? Curling.
What?
Curling?
I told you she'll talk herself into the answer.
What was the
I don't
first
know.
What was the first answer?
Clustering? It's curling,
Curling.
though.
Yes, it is curling.
Curling.
But clustering was
I'm going
much
to give you
better.
half on that one. That was good.
Look at the
Couldn't
cluster
remember.
of rocks. We should call this clustering. Great idea.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 1/4 is what you have right now.
Oh, shit.
So if you get both of these right, you could have 16 1/4 and beat.
Is there 2
both
point bonus
like his.
questions?
2 point. Yep, 2 point bonus questions. All right. Who is the tallest pro wrestler ever?
Oh.
Andre the Giant.
Wow. +2.
Sophomore.
Not even.
Right?
What 2 countries do the Rio Grande separate?
Oh, yeah, you're not getting this one.
What 2 countries? The Rio Grande. Italy? No.
Why'd you say no?
And,
No.
okay. Cuba? Is that a country?
Yeah, it's a country that's
it's an
surrounded by a
island.
fucking ocean.
Oh, okay. Then that's not it either. I'm not geographically
By the way, the Rio
informed
Grande is
in-
not an ocean.
Did you just say the geographically? What did you just?
Geographically informed.
All right, the Rio Grande separates the border
Rio.
of
Africa?
Oh, Jesus.
USA and Mexico.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that.
All right, so you got 14 1/4.
Did I
right.
beat one of your kids?
Yeah, you beat Mason.
I beat one of your kids.
Yep, you beat Mason.
Sorry,
Am I
Mason.
smarter than at least one of your kids?
Yeah, you beat Mason.
Oh, gosh.
14, almost 75% on that one.
Yeah, not bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dumb Shit with Dawn. Thank you so much for participating.
Yeah.
I hope we entertained you. Although she got really good. I did give you a couple softballs in there, and I didn't mean to.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Eric.
But, yeah,
After the fact.
Yeah. But say bye to your fans. Say bye to that camera, too.
Bye.
Well, it wasn't that intimidating, was it?
No,
Having that
kind
big
of. It's
camera?
like in my face, like.
All right. We'll be back in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Hold on. Let me find a song real quick. All right. Here we go. 3 minutes, 31 seconds.
It was quite a run we had, full of second chances and keep our hands to ourselves. It was just a couple weeks before that last drink, last time we talking sense to a country girl with her head all full of things I just don't understand about asking forgiveness. You've done nothing wrong. 'Cause I've been living with this for so long, so long. She don't like rainy days. The nights that stay too long. When she passes me away, I try to just be strong. She don't like rainy days. Been inside for too long. So I'll take my place in my own disgrace with your other castaways. She don't like rainy days. She don't like rainy days.
It's been 10 long years, you know it's been rough. I built you a home, you said it wasn't enough. There's no more. I soon be saying goodbye. You can cry me a river, but my tears have run dry. You tell all your friends I'm a disgrace. Talk behind my back, say it to my face. Oh, I'll soon be saying goodbye. Where you can cry me a river, but my tears have run dry. Well, you tell all your friends I'm a disgrace. You talk behind my back, say it to my face. Oh, I'll soon be saying goodbye. Well, you can cry me a river, but my tears have run dry. It's much too late. Find another man, the one you can appreciate. Oh, I'll soon be saying goodbye. Well, you'll find me on river, but my tears have run dry. No more, no more, no more. You won't see tears in these eyes. Cry me a river, but my tears have run dry.
It's big and big. Go live. Press spots. Go worldwide. Hit each word. Detest stress. So let me out. I'm gonna set your step. BPM as the second and roll. Al doing it easy. Get what you need to do. Oh, you know it's prime time. Okay, radio, baby. Get down, yo, baby.
It's not playing right now.
Big and bigger Sunday night. Big and bigger Sunday.
Welcome back, everybody, to Big and Bigger here on Cave Radio Broadcasting, episode number 215.
Hope everybody's stomach has recovered from laughing at dumb shit with Dawn.
www.crbradio.com. Shannon Shones is heading back from Wheatland on their way back to Oakland County. Her and Tim are trying to listen. They said hello.
Hey,
Hello.
hello.
So, have you ever been to Wheatland?
I have not. My wife has.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it fun?
It's a lot of fun.
Put that in your face.
You know, we've been hearing about Wheatland since the first time the Native Howl, the Gasoline Gypsies came in here, and that's how they met, and that's how Jack Hunger met them guys, and it's a really cool story, and just watching some of the videos from this weekend with Caleb and Alex and Joe laying on the ground beating on his fucking bongo, and just good times, man. And that's the kind of atmosphere I like. Is
Happy Wheatland.
Yeah, exactly. I love camping. I love all that shit, but that's my kind of shit. People just playing music in the background. You're playing horseshoes or drinking beer or bags or whatever you want to do, and there's just random people fucking playing amazing music. And that's why I'm digging this whole, we've been doing this for a long time. We're coming up on our 5-year anniversary, Al and I, and episode number 215. And it's been a pleasure to fucking meet people like you, and those guys, and be able to spend the last, however, 215 Fridays and Sundays with you guys. It's been pretty cool, and we appreciate you coming in. And
Well, thanks for
hanging out
having
with
me
us.
on. I appreciate you guys having me here.
So 20 Front Street, we kind of touched on it a little bit ago. Shannon, Tim Williams, and what's the owner's name?
Alan,
yeah. They've got such a good thing going over there. 20 Front Street is it's a small venue in the middle of Lake Orion, and they're bringing national acts in that place.
It's the Arc of Lake Orion.
Yeah.
Like the
the Arc out in Ann Arbor. Yeah.
It's the Arc of
and people
Lake
are starting to, hear about this place, and they're booking national, and I mean they're booked.
yeah.
And you kind of started off hanging out in there in the beginning, and
Yeah, Tim would every now and again he'd be like, "Hey man, there's a cool band. You got to come up here and check it out." And what's funny is before I even met Tim, I was out with some of my kayaking friends out on Lake Orion, and we were all hanging out at the sandbar. And my buddy Frank, he has a guitar that he straps to a paddleboard, and it's his lake guitar. And he takes it out to the sandbar, and he'll start playing guitar out on the lake. And so we were out there jamming. I was singing, he was playing, and Alan came up on a boat and said, "Hey guys, we're building this place down at 20 Front Street in downtown Lake Orion. You guys are musicians. You should come check it out. We're having something going on either tonight or tomorrow night, whatever it was." So we're like, "All right." We show up, we walk in, dirt floor, and just cinder block walls.
Oh yeah, I remember the pictures of that.
And they had all this. Everybody was there was writing all over the walls with scripture and all done with Sharpie writing. And we went in there, and they had this one piece of wood on the back, which is now in their green room. And then they had a carpet that people were just sitting there jamming on. There was a few people there, and they were just saying, we're going to turn this into something great. And they had the plans for the architecture up. And I do maintenance at my job, and so I look at these building layouts a lot. So I was looking at that. Wow, this is pretty neat how they're taking the acoustics into account. Yep. And they're building this like they would an amphitheater.
Yep.
Right.
And just talking to them about like all the passion that they were putting into this. And then to finally see the finished product and to go to my first show there and just to really sit in that atmosphere. If you sing loud enough, you don't need a microphone, you know?
Yeah, it's a very intimate thing. Like I said, when the first time I went there, that day I met you, was the first time I'd been there. And I walked in, and I was like, well, that's the fucking stage right there, you know what I mean? And then you see everyone sitting there, and I kind of ducked back out and was like, what the fuck? And Tim was right there. He goes, dude, go in. And I'm like, they're singing. And he's like, who cares? Just go up, you know?
Go check it out.
Yeah, and and it's a very, I've been out there one other time since, and it's just a really relaxed kind of atmosphere. And,
absolutely,
you know, I mean, less than 100 people. I think it's like 96 people or 98 people or something.
Right
that
around
holds.
there, yeah.
Right around 100 people. Shannon's chiming in right now. She said that everyone has to go next year to Wheatland. Happy Wheatland. So, but yeah, so it's just a really cool place. And one of the guys that they've gotten in there, he was a winner of The Voice. Sawyer Fredericks, he's going to be the headliner at LO Palooza, which is this Saturday, September 14th at the Wildwood Amphitheater. You can go to lopalooza.org and get tickets. I think they're $15 still.
But they'll be 20 the day
20
of.
the day
so
of,
get 'em early.
And Sawyer Fredericks, Native Howl, Gasoline Gypsies, Escaping Pavement, Trippin' Dixie, Levi Bootcut and the Straight Legs, and 2XL are all playing.
Is it Escaping?
Escaping.
What did I say? Escaping Pavement. Escaping. Escaping Pavement.
Escaping.
Well, they were there too. They were at Wheatland. I saw them playing a couple tunes in the little videos that Nancy and Jack and all them were posting. So earlier in you told me about a band that you saw this weekend up in
Traverse City. Yeah, actually, George and I just celebrated our second anniversary.
Oh, congratulations!
Congrats!
Yeah, so we went up. We got married on Labor Day so that she knows. Hey, you have a 3-day weekend. So you're going to take me somewhere.
There you go.
Cherry Fest.
So that one's in July.
Oh,
that one. But so last year we went to Chicago. We did it up big, and then this year we're like, it's a little expensive. So we went up to Traverse City, and it was a great time. And when we were there, I think it was the Union Street Station.
Yeah, I've been there. That's a nice place.
Yeah, and so we were there on Sunday night, I believe. And
he can't remember, obviously.
Yeah, it was. This is one of our few stops on the night, and definitely our last stop.
Our make your own brewery tour.
Yeah, and so by the time we got to this point,
fun.
it was wild. And by the time we got to this point, I was ready to dance. So I go up there and I hear this band, and they just got this groove going, this funk groove. They were getting it, and their band. I found out they're called Tell Yo Mama. And they got two singers. They got this big guy who sings lead, and then this girl who's got this real sultry voice. And she's got the two of them together really complement each other. And he's got kind of that like he reminds me of the lead singer of the Main Squeeze. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. Yeah, Dr. Funk and stuff. So he's got that kind of swagger to his funk vocals.
Lee was fangirling real hard.
Oh, man, at the very end of the set, this guy hit this note. And I've never met these people before. And I just had to ask them. I was like, who are you guys? Where are you from? And they're from Lansing. And so I just gave them a $20 bill, and they gave me a shirt and a couple stickers. I said, give the rest of the band. They did great. And, man, I've been a fan ever since. So sweet. I've been jamming those guys.
What other bands? You mentioned Trey Simon earlier.
Yeah, Trey Simon. He's my boy.
What other bands or performers do you like around town, or you think that we should maybe get a?
Well, so most of the bands that I tell you about are all the bands that are playing at Alapalooza. Those are the people that I found just from being around and whatnot. Another guy that I love to see a lot out is Steve Taylor, and he's got a trio that he does, the Steve Taylor 3, and he does great music, and he's always a good time if you're ever just looking for some good music and he does good vocals, and I like him. I like him a lot.
Okay.
So
yeah, he does that open mic.
Yeah, he's the one that he did the Nashville
singer-songwriter
one.
thing.
Yeah, that you saw me at with Trey, and and I can't forget Acoustic Ash.
Oh,
do you guys know her?
She's awesome.
Yeah, all right.
I just did her a bunch of plumbing at her house.
Oh my God, she's the sweetest. Well, what's awesome about Acoustic Ash was the first time that I met her. She just, she's got that booming personality.
Yeah.
She just makes you feel like you're loved.
She's got that accent, the English accent.
Yeah, and so I asked her, I was like, no way, where are you from? She's like, oh, I'm from Birmingham. I was like, no way. My wife was born in Birmingham, England, and lived there until she was 8. She's actually working on her citizenship form right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you got your green card?
Permanent resident.
Yeah, so we moved to Alabama when I was 8.
Oh, jeez, you went from one accent.
Wow. Holy cow. So you can tell when she's talking to her family, it's like a switch. She just gets that British accent that comes right back.
What's cool was we went back for one Christmas and Acoustic Ash was like, hey, I'm going to be there. Like, let's. So we tried and it didn't work out.
We had a lot.
It would have been cool if it did.
We have so much family over there. It's tough to. We just spend our time with them.
And her. I don't know if you guys see it this way, but a lot of her lyrics like are so just like from the heart and like the cup of tea.
They have a lot of
like,
British references where it'll blow right over my head, but it'll warm Georgia right up.
Like there's the little things that I feel like some people don't catch in her songs. It's like, yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She does an open mic in Dearborn that I went and checked out, and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
She's one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet.
She
in your entire
really
life.
is.
I had a chance to meet her mother. Was in town this summer when I did the plumbing work.
Yeah,
and I had my son with me, and it was just just her tearing up on Mason. Mason's like red as a beet, you know what I mean? It was just funny as shit. So, but that's very cool. And then, you guys, is the 21st Century 3 years is coming up, isn't it? 3-year anniversary?
Yeah. This is winter.
think
Maybe
of-
spring.
was it- I think it was-
sometime between now and this time next year.
Maybe Shannon keeps commenting. Maybe they can tell us. She said Escaping Pavement had an amazing set at Wheatland.
They always do.
So we're going to do a couple of stories here of big and bigger news and headlines, and these are some of the ones that we brought off of the interwebs. And like I said, 90% of these things probably aren't real, but a couple of these ones
We
are.
do love the headlines, though.
Yes, and that's all it's about is headlines. And this one here is one of the best ones. 6
I
seniors
love
face
this
sex
one.
charges for sex in park.
This one was real.
Yeah,
This one
this
was
one is definitely real.
Fox 2.
Lawrence Fishburne's father.
I can see my grandma.
Yep. So 6 people ranging in age from 62 to 85 face sex charges after being arrested in a conservation area in Connecticut. Police say 5 to 6 men and an 85-year-old woman were involved in a lewd. So they were doing a gangbang.
Listen.
Yes, they were all
Listen.
naked.
Hey, let them do it. Let them do
I
it.
love
when
it.
You, when you
I
grow
love
up
it.
with the gangbang, you want to end with
All
the
men
gangbang.
and one
I
chick,
get
dude.
it.
They're probably stuck in a home all
Could you?
day.
Okay,
got
could you
one
imagine
last
them
request.
setting this up? Could
This
you
is-
imagine them actually talking about this and
The fact
setting
they all
this
remembered
shit up?
beneath it.
Mildred!
62-year-old.
What you
You're
don't
in,
see,
right? You're in. I got more.
Well, you
I
don't
got
s-
more for you.
what they don't talk about is this was actually being filmed. This was actually Cocoon 2, but it was rated X.
No, it was chlamydia too.
Chlamydia 2.
Police say the area has been publicized on the internet as an area where people meet and have sex.
Where is it?
In Connecticut. Fairfield, Connecticut.
Why, you want some of
What?
that senior dick? Is
I
that what
just
you're
want
looking
to go
for?
watch. I want to be in the a
Why would you
cheetah.
want to watch that?
Well, it might not. I don't know.
Well, their theme is the best thing that ever came out of a penis.
Don't
was the
you want
wrinkles.
to?
So yeah, that's and that was like I said, that was a real headline there. Now I don't know if this one's real or not, and I've done mushrooms before, so I can only imagine. But this one here says, man arrested for possession of magic mushrooms, his happiest mugshot of all time.
I bet that is real. Look at his eyes.
Yeah, that was not the full stop. I
It
can
looks like
guarantee you
his
that.
whole eyeball is a pupil.
Look at that fucking face.
Look at him.
He's eating some of that shit.
Perhaps it's the large quality of magic mushrooms or weed he was found in possession of. But Dave Kalb was detained in Pennsylvania when they found him loitering outside a neighbor's house and asked him to show them to his apartment.
That dress is cute.
He had 70 mushrooms and a mason jars containing active ingredients to manufacture psychedelic mushrooms.
He was on his way.
Yeah, like what are active
Spores
ingredients?
and manure?
Yeah, bearing a smile from ear to ear despite facing a lengthy jail sentence should be actually convicted. So.
I
And
just
they
got a
refer to
mason
him as
jar
a
of
child
couch.
opening a present.
You don't
Christmas
even know what I
morning.
just ate. I'm gonna be good.
That's
for
because there
8
was a
months.
smaller mason jar full of mushrooms stuffed in his anus that he was taking to sell at jail.
All right, this one here, woman arrested for chugging beer like Stone Cold Stephen Austin and assaulting her boyfriend.
Look at that mustache, dude. That's the pussification of America, getting beat up by her.
What's her name? Chastity?
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Look at that
'Cause Chastity
lump
said
he's
so.
got on his jaw from it. Dude. She cold cocked
Right there.
him
That
right
fucking
there.
jaw is swole.
Look at him.
Covered in Doritos and Papa John's garlic butter sauce, then peeing herself.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, all right, so this is what it says. It says a Florida man was trying to get his girlfriend, help his girlfriend out. Cody Lee, 26, thought Chastity, 23, had drank too much, and out of his concern for her well-being, he told her, well, maybe that's what happened. Considering how Chastity responded to Cody's lifestyle critique and what might have been passing out on the couch covered in Doritos and Papa John's garlic butter sauce. then
And
peeing
she
herself.
hit him.
Dude, she
She hit him in the throat.
She followed him to the
Throat
garage.
punch you, bitch. Shut
Floored
up.
home, took 2 cans of beer, slammed together, and chugged them. Proceeded to physically assault Cody.
I'll show you what.
Then flipped off the crowd and put the belt on.
Eventually, Cody was able to pin Chastity down and call police.
In my ass. Look at red.
She told that proceeded to Stone Cold Steve Austin my ass. That's hilarious. So yeah, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is a great fucking headline. Woman arrested for chugging beer like Stone Cold and then assaulting her boyfriend.
Holy
Now this is something I'd heard on one of the morning shows as I was driving around. But this one here is a 34-year-old man took a metal nut, like a metal nut
Bolt
with
nut
fucking
type thing, yeah. Threaded
and
nut,
shit
yeah.
like that, and used it as a cock ring while he tried jerking off. And it literally his shit engorged so big that it wouldn't go back down. So my man had to call 911 or whatever.
Dude, how many girls do you think he called before he called 911?
They should have
Sent
tried that.
so many Snapchats.
Yeah, exactly.
String
Butter.
maneuver.
One with his dick
Put
and
a
it's got
string
like mouse
through the
ears.
ring
and
and you
little
go-
That's a
whiskers.
1-inch nut, babe.
Wow.
An unnamed 34-year-old man was trying to dislodge the hex nut from his member before giving up. They say medics at the United Christian Hospital in Hong Kong. So he
that
probably wasn't
makes
1 inch.
sense.
It's Asian, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently
gosh,
didn't have
here
a
we
crescent
go.
wrench to back that thing off.
Oh,
They gave the man
I like
painkillers.
that nut.
Tried to slide it off with jelly, but it didn't budge. Where do you get jelly in a hospital? Like maybe Vaseline?
No, did he try to?
No,
Petroleum
it's
jelly.
called
Petroleum
jelly.
jelly. Yeah, jelly.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right. So they ended up. This is
Oh
the,
my god! All I have is raspberry jelly.
this is the end. This is the part that
give me your
grossed
jelly.
me out. Is they ended up having to use a diamond disc cutter to slice through the metal. Grim Petrie showed the man, and I was praying there was a picture on here, but there's not. There's not.
They're not going to show a picture of his penis with a sliver.
So
in
he
it
applied a metal hex nut over the root of his penis 2 days ago. 2 days ago,
Jesus.
for
and wasn't
sexual pleasure.
able to remove it. Oh my god! So he had that thing stuck on there for 2 days.
Even pee without difficulty.
There was an increase in penile swelling and pain. He was able to.
His
not
skin
to-
is starting to rot.
Dude,
down
dude,
there.
his-
Capri
His
Sun
dick
straw
looked like
in there.
his dick looked like the tail on a balloon animal. It was all like real narrow at the bottom. It was all swollen above it.
Oh my lord!
Oh, that's bad.
The punctured 30 holes in the soldier's foreskin to drain some of the swelling of it.
Oh,
It was,
this
it
gets worse
was
as we read it.
leaking like a sprinkler.
It was like fucking the creamy fucking Italian dressing that was leaking from Al's leg.
Yep, that's right. Creamy Italian.
All right, and then this isn't a headline or anything, but we were talking about it outside. Michigan just banned the flavored vape pens or whatever, and it's. We were talking about it, and my thing, and Al, you said you were kind of your conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, my conspiracy.
I think this is the fucking tobacco industry who's losing their money like they aren't already fucking multi-billionaires, every single one of them, but they're losing money to these vape companies because a lot of people are going to the vape because it's. It's not smoke and
it's odor free.
Yeah, it's odor free.
Tastes good. It tastes like strawberry shortcake and shit.
Well, and that's the thing is, a lot of these things, what it's doing is, I heard a couple different things, but one of them was on the Today Show, and they were talking to this scientist guy, and they were like, so when you and I got a vape pen right here, and it's oil in the pen, and then when you burn it, it turns into the vape, but then when it solidifies in your lungs, it turns back into the oil.
Right.
So what's happening is the vape juice and the weed juice and all that shit is turning back into oil in your lungs and coating your lungs and causing popcorn lungs and bubble lungs, and it's hard breathing and heart problems and all this other stuff.
It's true.
But the funny thing is, dude, people have been smoking for 100 years, and you know how many millions and millions and millions and millions of people have died from lung cancer from smoking?
Right. But look at the time frame, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you get smoked for 20 years, 30 years.
Right.
But, I mean, part of the problem
Vaping's been around for how long? But there's a lot of young kids that are.
That's
There's a lot of sick kids.
And it's the middle school and the high school kids.
Well, and that's what Al said. I was like, he's like, I dread it because my daughter, it's a fashion thing. It's a, I don't want to smoke a cigarette. Well, here, smoke this. It's not a cigarette.
It's Fruit Loops.
And they can do it in school.
Right.
Yeah, it's Fruit Loops
It's so
flavor.
easy to hide.
They got all these different fruity flavors. Now they're going after cereals and stuff. So I mean, it's geared.
They are.
The flavor part of it is geared towards younger generations or whatever.
Well, and it's the juice that has no nicotine too. That you're literally just inhaling juice.
Yeah.
Like
you're inhaling liquid
for the kids,
into your lungs.
You just are inhaling that Fruit Loop stuff.
Right.
Like, what is that?
I'm for the ban.
Water on your lungs.
Yeah,
I'm for it.
Who knows?
Basically.
Well, then that's the thing is that the whole bill is passing is that they're not labeling the ingredients in it.
Right. Yeah, because when I get this, and this is, like I said, I like to smoke green. I'm an advocate. I've been on the Jazz Cabbage Cafe, and I support the whole weed and legalization and all that stuff. But I'm a plumber, and I smoke weed, and I don't want to go into a house smelling like weed. I mean, what's a customer going to do? Be like, this guy just smoked a fucking joint and then walks into my house and he's going to fix my shit? No, I don't want it. So this is a good thing for me because I like to get high and whatever. And I know people are like, you get high at work? I'm like, I work better when I'm high. But anyway, do not listen to this show right now. But it's gonna affect everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whatever. Maybe it's a good thing. You like it because of your daughter.
Right.
Well, and there's no regulations on it.
Exactly.
With cigarettes, you have to be a certain age.
Right.
You have to do this. This is
Warnings
a
on
new
the
thing.
labels.
So that's why it's a big deal right now. Is because we need to figure out what are the restrictions.
And one of my
that's
friends
gonna
said
be
that
put
her
in place.
fucking her cousin makes his own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's
So that's like fucking. That's
shops
like
that make
it's like
their
moonshine.
own.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It all
customer
goes back
doesn't
to
know
the
what they're
big
getting.
thing. You need if the
It's not
ingredients are
regulated
not
yet.
listed, you don't know.
Yep.
The article that's just come out and the whole law that's being passed, they name a few of the juices that are
harmful. The harmful ones.
that are not labeling the ingredients, that are just making who knows what.
Right.
And then you're going in with a cough, and next day you're getting put on oxygen. Now you have a respiratory illness
Is that
from
your,
God
the
knows
British
what.
that just came off on her?
What's
A
that?
cough.
Cough? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even.
It's a weird mixture of like British and Alabama.
Alabama?
Yeah, like that.
I don't
like
even
the
know how to
tullet.
talk anymore.
Oh, I got to go use the tullet.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Yeah, you'll pick them up here and there. But and even with when they first started making the stuff where they would drain it from the weed and they'd make the concentrates, they're making them out of butane.
Yeah.
And folks were blowing stuff up and
Yep.
inhaling butane, and it's just there's different ways to make it, and because it's not regulated.
Well, now
you know.
because like especially Michigan, there was a while that there was like probably 2 months that I couldn't get cartridges at all because they were like, nope.
They shut everybody down for a while.
It's regulated now by the government is regulating at least these. I don't know about, because all the ones that are getting sold now are all regulated and all. There was a batch that had some like mold in it or some shit like that. He pulled them all off the shelf, and it was
That's the thing. They just got to figure it out.
Yep. So anyway, all right, we're done talking about the big and bigger news and headlines and all that other bullshit. I want to thank Levi Bootcut for coming in. You want to play a couple tunes?
Sure.
All right, grab your guitar. And while we're talking about this, we're going to say we got 10 shows. We're still contemplating on the last show that we're going to do. It's either going to be November 24th or December 1st. And we got a band in mind, and we're just waiting on them right now to get back to us. But we got a pretty good show of bands coming up. Next week, we got Crimson Eyed Orchestra, September 15th. September 22nd, Standing Sun. September 29th from Monroe, Age of Hysteria. On October 26th, a band out of Port Huron, Casting Shadows. They're doing their album release, and they got they're opening up for Tantric on October 11th, so they're coming in. October 13th, Chrissy Morgan's going to be here, as well as Rick Pineda. Rick Pineda's Dirty White, his new rap album is coming out, and he's got a special guest that's also going to be calling in that night. I can't wait. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to guess and be wrong. Or
It'd be sweet if it was.
Yeah, exactly. October 20th, No Sin in Eden. October 27th, a pretty sweet local band. They're getting a lot of pub right now. Secondhand Mojo. November 3rd, Creature of One, which is the ex-lead singer of what's the band out Off the Ledge. He's got a new band, Creature of One. He's going to be in here. November 10th, Space Skull. And then our last regular show will be November 17th, Edison Hollow, formerly Red Baron, will be in here to close us out. And then, like I said, either November 24th or December 1st, we're going to have our last official show of Big and Bigger for the time being. We're going to get back to it in the beginning of the year and talk and see what's going on. But
Let's
we're going
not talk about it yet.
Yeah, well, I got to talk about it.
I don't know, but I'm sad.
The best part, those old timers were filming it as well. I don't know what he's talking about.
The 6 old people?
Oh, yeah. That's what it is. He was. Dan, my boy Dan Dursky's like, the best part, those old timers were filming it as well. So,
I need some money. My Social Security ran out, and I need to make a Pornhub account.
Dan also says Acoustic Ash plays a lot at the House of Shamrocks.
Yeah.
Met Mom and the dog there last fall. And then Shannon says anniversary for 20 Front Street is in November.
Yeah, see, sometime
It was. So we were close. All right, 20 Front Street. No, not 20 Front Street. Palooza this Saturday, September 14th, Wildwood Amphitheater. What time are you going on?
Starting at noon. Kicking it off.
You're kicking everything off.
Yep.
And then you said you're going to do something a little bit later too, right? Just you?
Yeah. Do a few songs on the guitar, just like I'm doing here.
All right, cool. Thanks you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And
I
hanging
really
out,
appreciate
man.
it.
When you get Al to bob his head during a country song, you know you're good.
Oh, man. Let's bring it.
And thanks for coming in and driving him, Georgia. It was good to get to know you a little bit. Did you figure out that cartoon character yet? No. You're gonna blurt something out on the way home.
That's all I'm gonna think about.
Yeah, make sure you text me later when she comes up with them.
Right. Mickey Mouse. What the hell?
All right, ladies and
Johnny
gentlemen,
Bravo.
one more time in the Cave Radio Studios on Big and Bigger, episode number 215, Levi Bootcut.
When you're climbing the mountain, reach for the summit. Look around and find the people who say they care. But if you were to stumble, fame will plummet. Look around and find the people, can't find them nowhere. Yeah, well, I may not be a gambler, but I'll roll the dice. Whatever consequence life brings, well, I'll pay the price. I'd have a half a mind to waste my time dwelling on yesterday. When the sun comes up tomorrow, and the sun will bring a brand new day. So you have faith in another who you trust like a brother. Now you're stuck with your head in your hands, twisting half deep and shaking hands with the people, but you still don't understand. Well, now you're feeling like shit, and it makes you wanna quit. Just remember what Bobby used to say: chin up, shoulders back, grit your teeth, kick some ass. Tomorrow's a brand new day. Well, I may not be a gambler, but I'll roll the dice. Whatever consequence life brings, well, I'll pay the price. Well, I'd have a half of mine to waste my time dwelling on yesterday. When the sun comes up tomorrow, yeah, so we'll bring a bright new shiny day. When you get knocked down, search for a helping hand, but nobody's there to help you off the ground. Gotta get on up, baby. Yeah, you gotta understand. If you do it on your own, you won't be bound. Anyhow. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh, do it on my own. Well, I may not be a gambler, but I'll roll the dice. Whatever consequence life brings, well, I'll pay the price. Well, I'd have a half of mine to waste the time dwelling on yesterday. When the sun comes up tomorrow, yeah, sun will bring a bright new shiny day.
Hell yeah, man. You got so much energy, dude.
I gotta get it out somehow, right? My buddy Dusty, who's my best friend, I haven't brought him up yet, but I'll at least give him a shout out, Dusty Miller. He's my best friend. George, Dusty, and I all got tattoos in England on a couch, and it's a three-legged stool. It's what we call each other because can't hold each other up without one of them, right? You need a leg. Anyway, he's always told me that there's a soulful black woman trapped inside of me just trying to get out.
I can see it.
Yeah, for sure. You got one more?
I got one more.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one last time in the Cave Radio Studios on Big and Bigger. Thank you for coming in again. You got any social media? Where can we find you?
Yeah, Levi Bootcut and Straight Legs on Facebook. I actually just bought LeviBootcut.com for like $17. I own it for 2 years, so check it out. All my social media contacts and all my events are on the webpage.
And sometime next month, we're hoping to get the
get that EP out.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
Well, when you get it out, let us have it, man.
Oh, yeah. First thing. No problem.
Sweet. All right, man. One more time, Levi Bootcut.
Please help me, I'm lost, can't find my mother. The good Lord took her away from me. How am I supposed to love thy neighbor when all they do is take away the sanity? I've been told to live as a paragon, shed the light on the righteous way. But this darkness consumes my heart. I don't want to be another protege. 'Cause I'm drowning in a sea of sin. Siren songs keep pulling me in. Black water underneath my skin. Oh, I'm drowning in a sea of sin.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Levi Bootcut, thank you so much again for coming in, brother. It was a pleasure to get you on the show finally.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on Saturday.
Sounds good.
All right. Next week, Crimson Night Orchestra will be in here hanging out with us, and we're going to have a good time. So until next week, see you. Peace. Peace.
Bye.
That was fun. I'm glad you finally came up to the table and contributed. I seen. It was good.